Hello, everybody! Welcome to Beyond the Realms, session 46, right?
Correct.
Did I get it right? Yes! For anyone playing BTR Bingo at home, you can dot that on the grid that I got that one correct.
Oh, we need that. Someone make BTR Bingo, please.
Wait, I gotta update the bingo card. Hold on.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another glorious Monday post-Halloween edition. Hope you all had a fantastic spooky weekend filled with drinks and costumes and all kinds of fun things. I did not get to enjoy it as much as I would have liked to. But hopefully next year we'll be out all 3 days of the weekend and enjoy all the spooky things because I'm still afraid of COVID. Okay, so nothing really to go off the top tonight except that we will be announcing the winner of our Norse Foundry Dice giveaway. Whoa! We're giving away a set of awesome heavy metal dice courtesy of Norse Foundry. You can see that shiny boy. Hoo-da-lolly. They were gracious enough to give us one of their awesome new sets that they just launched a Kickstarter for. That is correct. Like hot butter through chocolate pudding, the deals are so good.
No.
We are going to be announcing the winner after our break. So anyone who's watching this, you still have a chance to enter into said special heavy metal dice giveaway. Just head over to the Dicecream Instagram. You'll be able to see the post over there and enter in there before we announce the winner after our break. So thank you to everyone who entered in, by the way. I think we got close to like 800 entries, which is pretty damn good. So thank you all again for that. Also, thank you to everyone who's been showing lots and lots of love over to our Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign that we just started last week. The feedback and the engagement on that has been so freaking amazing. And we've got a lot of cool things to show you next Tuesday when we come back for session 2 with, once again, Jennings Brower, Quincy's Tavern, Jackie Elena Chan, and Shane Wally. We're going to be featuring some really cool fan art that was made by a very talented artist and friend of the show, Brian Luna, who made some amazing fantasy character art of the players. And so we'll be showing all of those next week as well. And if you haven't seen the first session yet, no worries. I think it's still up on Twitch VOD, but you can also go check it out on our YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, maybe just take your goddamn finger and press that subscribe button and head over there and be a fan of that channel, because we literally backlog every session we do here on the Dicecream Twitch channel over there. So there's any campaigns you haven't caught up on or want to know the origins of this insane story that's been going on for quite some time, all those sessions are up on the YouTube channel. So make sure you head over there promptly. But yeah, I guess one more thing, because I don't shout it out enough. Look, it's some merch. Look, John's wearing some merch. There's some merch back here. Look at all that moich. You can get your own Dicecream Sandwich moich on the Dicecream Sandwich moich website. Its link is in the bio, I believe. This Shopify website that's got cool Dicecream Sandwich logo hats and beanies, good for fall and winter. Awesome fiend shirts over here that John's wearing, Bow to the King of Fear by the amazing artist Ross, who's also involved in an amazing webcomic that John is also a part of, Supernatural, that has been killing it on the webtoon shots.
Supernal.
I believe it's the number one webtoon comic of all time already has been rated and given that title. So pretty amazing. Lots of the cool things going on over there. So if you're a fan of webcomics, go check out Supernatural. I think John will put into the chat log where you can find it. All that good stuff. Okay, enough of my sleazy car salesman antics. Let's all kick back, relax, grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite snacks, I just pretended to drink there. I don't know why. I'm in a really weird mood today. Kick back, relax, and enjoy tonight's session of Beyond the Realms. So, last we left off, the party having freshly come into a very important new information about their friend Mr. Fiend, the god of mischief himself, known as Loki, after holding the Tree of Infinity, the humanoid representation of the Tree of Infinity at bay, demanding Fiend let go of their words bond to free him of their deal of the exchange they set up oh so long ago, that being Fiend would free Loki from the prison in Asgard if he would then free Fiend's father and give him the Heart of the Feywild, a very rare, powerful magic item that would allow Fiend to create a weapon that would be able to rival Odin's spear itself. Upon meeting the Tree of Infinity, Loki appeared, knife towards the Tree of Infinity's heart. Exchange of words were met, and the party realized the dark dealings that Fiend had been up to. After that, all those revelations coming to light, Fiend had no choice as he quickly learned that the deal with the Tree of Infinity somehow connected to oh no, I'm ready for the name, Hathawin, back in the city of Asgard. It's a little Fey druid friend that Fiend had picked up oh so long ago. Realizing that the two were connected somehow, Fiend heard a shrill voice in his head as Loki began to stab into the Tree of Infinity deeper and deeper. That Hathawin's voice emanated in Fiend's head, gasping for air, feeling pain and anguish. Fiend had no other choice, let go of Loki from the words bond, and Loki disappeared into the night, leaving the Tree of Infinity there, kind of defenseless, a little bit hurt. Rhaenyra ran over to the Tree of Infinity, healed them up, had a bit of some words back and forth, realizing that they were okay. And as a thank you to the party, the Tree of Infinity then bestowed upon you a few gifts, giving Rhaenyra a much Fey-touched, charged version of their saloon mace that they were gifted from the moon goddess themselves. Revealed that Tarek's weapon, Mjolnir, had been chained, locked away from its potential power from Tarek for some reason, and was able to unleash the full potential of Mjolnir to Tarek once more. The rest of you having various interactions with each other, long-awaited conversations, personal conversations between Rhaenyra and Sir Strange. Fiend was there all alone in the dark of this illustrious cavern where the Tree of Infinity was upheld. And a small, giggling, very chaotic voice emanated your head, Fiend, that coming from the dark reaction to a scar left from Sir Strange's symbiote attack, revealing that you yourself have the small infection of symbiote inside of you. This dark gift, this voice convincing you that your friends, everything that they've bestowed upon you was trifling, and that you are stronger, better off alone in the dark, trying to convince you to just use them as tools, use them to for your own objectives, but then leave them when the time arises. You feeling conflict, not knowing who to trust, what to do, eventually came to the realization that this thing was trying to take you over, was trying to get into the driver's seat of sorts, threatening your friends as the more you tried to resist it. And in a last-ditch effort, you emanated a fireball from your hand and smacked it against your chest, causing the symbiote to excavate out of your body, using your shadow powers to pull in through your nostrils, out through your mouth, throwing the symbiote away. Rhaenyra, seeing this, ran towards Fiend, one of their very best friends, and got smacked with a wave of fire. This pulsating wave beating 1 second after the other as Rhaenyra's changeling form came into full view, but with their healing powers, able to resist each wave as they took 1 step further and further towards you all, armor and flesh being ripped to shreds, but them able to maintain their composure as they're finally able to come to you, put 2 hands on your shoulders, and tell you that you are not alone, and I'm not going anywhere. In the interim of all this, Sir Strange's symbiote became full-fledging, and you had a really long, hard-fought battle with this strange amoebus oozing form that was 9 times larger than any of you, dealing crazy poison and acid damage. But through a couple of quick tricks between Tarek and Fiend, was able to open a portal underneath this oozing creature, with each strike and mighty blow from Sir Strange dealing wave after wave of incredible smite damage. You were able to make its form smaller and smaller and eventually throw it through a demi-plane that Tarek created, stealing away Oswick once and for all. The following events happened. And this is where we start our session today. As the rest of you are standing around a scarred, charred, and broken Rhaenyra, as they stand there defiantly with Fiend in their arms, Fiend a bit unconscious, their skin with 3rd-degree burns all over it, their clothing ripped and charred, wisps of small hair kind of at the back of their head, but their true changeling form still apparent to all of you. The Tree of Infinity, who named herself the Monarch, stands over, looking on, with her very ferocious and small little mushroom fey creature guard, Zarbok, standing there with his mystical bow, ready to defend them until their dying breath. So, with all that out of the way, everyone, what would you like to do?
I got him. It's okay. He's all right. She's like,
he's out cold.
Well, but he has a pulse. That's pretty good, I think.
Yes, that's definitely good. Are you all right, Rhaenyra? Already kind of very gently, kind of not making physical contact, but kind of just holding out a hand, and we'll just give some healing to Rhaenyra as they're looking quite messed up.
You can tell she's in shock still from all the adrenaline. She goes, yeah, I'm fine. Oh. And then in a blink of an eye, she just changes it all back to her being a human with one.
He doesn't make any comment or say anything. Just we'll just kind of give you some healing. That is oh wow, that's quite good. That is 22 points of healing.
Hey-o. Thank you.
Enjoy that.
Oh,
there you go.
Thank you, Tarek.
You're welcome. We probably should all take a rest for now. I'm tapped, and well, I think we could all use a break before we head back out there. We should definitely plan our next move.
She slaps Fiend's face a little bit. Are you okay? Hello?
He's resting, just...
He's out cold. She grabs his cheeks a little bit. She's not going to slap you that hard. Yeah, but she does do that, and she goes, oh, I'm Mr. Fiend, so grumpy. I have to do everything by myself. And she puppets his mouth.
Tarek will stifle a laugh. Just after everything, he will just start laughing. Thank you, Rhaenyra. I needed that.
I think we all do.
Yeah. How's everyone else?
God.
Look to everyone else. How's everyone else looking?
I'm fine.
Strange?
Strange, just a lot has been going on, and they just look around. I'll be all right.
I vote that we take at least a rest for at least an hour, possibly longer. What do you all think? Any objections?
I think that's much needed.
Should we take an hour or perhaps longer?
I'm beat to hell. I would love to lie down for a bit longer.
Then a longer rest it shall be. Shall we say 8 hours? At least.
At least.
I mean, we're safe
ex-
here.
Yeah, exactly. 8 hours.
On the
Said
dot.
name-
On the dot.
the
Not
name
a
of the
second
movie.
longer.
Oh,
It's
we can
almost
do
like,
that.
we could put a number on it. How weird.
If I had to put it on
If
a
I
number.
had to.
She, by the way, Ramira is a holding fiend after a fireball just hit them both, and then
Yeah.
she looked like trash and then recycled back into her old form, and then kind of just looked at Strange and gave them a shrug because last they left off, she was like, I can't leave him by himself. I'll be right back. Boom.
I can't leave him alone for 10
I can't
minutes.
leave him alone. Fireball.
She just looks at Strange and gives them a shrug like,
It's a Bert Kreischer thing. It's like Strange is like he's got a symbiote in him. He's got a what? I don't cheat on my wife.
oh my god.
Oh,
So we're resting.
we
I
should.
guess I will take first.
Are you?
I guess.
So,
if we're resting-
more importantly, where are you resting? Are you going to rest inside the cave with the sort of pool of water all around you, around the tree of infinity, sort of still its glowing leaves still changing intermittently through various colorations, kind of lighting up the dark cap around you? Or do you want to go outside where there's more land and more sort of places to sprawl out?
Tarek will kind of turn to the Tree of Infinity and say, apologies. Would you be willing to allow us to take a rest here in your demiplane? Just until we can catch our breath and so Fiend can recover from his injuries.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. It is much appreciated.
Is everyone all right?
I think they will be. Just need time.
Yes.
A lot to process.
Take as much time as you need. Just do keep an eye out. You are, however, inside the most unfiltered, naturalistic version of the Feywild, and, well, lots of my children are quite tricky.
I see. Thank you. Shall we set up a watch then? Kind of turning to everyone else.
I'll go first.
I'll go
Okay.
second.
I'll go third.
Okay, so each taking watch outside of the cave, like directly outside, or do you kind of go out a bit from where you came? Or I'm just judging like how far.
in the cave. Safest stay.
So you want to lay down and sleep in the shallow water? Well, you will probably drown.
Honestly, maybe not in the water. Farrell says no. Farrell says no. Farrell says
Just make sure to turn me face down.
just pancake you. Just boop.
Yeah. We should find a spot perhaps outside the cave where there is less standing water.
I was gonna say, Fiend and I aren't technically in the water, right? We're in the cave.
So in the cave itself, there is shallow water all around the inside of the cave, that
I see.
mirrored like pool of water where you stepped into. And there's
Oh no, is
little-
Farrell only just realizing this?
No. I was busy thinking of we just fireballed this. There's steam everywhere.
Yeah.
Damn it! Who said they could plant this tree in the water table?
Who said they did?
There is where the tree is situated on is like a little bit of a plot of land that it's kind of on, like a bonsai tree that was described, with like this sort of thin stalk that kind of branches out to a bunch of sort of leafy texture on top, and that ray of radiant light shining down over top of an opening with those 4 ivory pillars sort of surrounding it. But all around that is like shallow, dull water that probably comes like inches above your ankle.
Yeah. So I think going a little bit outside,
I agree. Let's take a
and
spot somewhere.
Farrell
else.
will
Okay.
turn and walk.
Mhm.
Okay, so you go outside and just kind of, do you set up like a camp, or do you just kind of lie on the grass and just kind of soak in the environment and just let time just pass by?
I think that Farrell's fine not setting up camp.
You just hear Amir going.
Yeah, Tarek will walk over to Ramiro and be like, "Would you like some help?"
And she has him like with her arms under his armpits. Yes, that would be nice. And drops him.
Tarek just picks him up just over the shoulder.
I have to have a little bit of fun while I can, Tarek.
Sir Strange behind the party looking up and Fiend.
Yeah, Tarek will just kind of pick him up over one shoulder and kind of just slowly walk out. This is
like when your parents take you from the car to your bed and you try to pretend to be tired.
All right, so everyone going down to the outside of the cave entrance. You start to just like pick up Fiend. Ramirez just utterly exhausted. It's Strange coming out too. You all kind of find little plots in the grass to kind of just lay down for a good solid hour. Or you do a long rest, sorry.
Yeah, long rest, I believe. We are going
long
for
rest.
8 hours, I believe.
So as you look around you, the entrance of that cave, there's that sort of grassy area in front of the cave, and then two sets of mahogany wood stairs that kind of goes down several feet into a second layer of ground that's sort of not bog necessarily, but as you remember when you went into this domain of delight infinity, there's kind of like swampy, muddy kind of area that kind of went into a sea of trees, and then past the forest with all of the frozen humanoid figures covered in moss, to then go to this terrain here. So up on that upper edge, you all kind of put out your bedrolls, whatever you can, to make rest for the night. And then as you all lay down, Farrell's taking first watch.
Yes, I am.
Is there anything anyone want to do before you all rest? Okay.
Don't believe so. Not currently.
All right. So Farrell, being the first one to keep watch, make me a perception check, please.
Ooh, let's see how we're rolling, because we were not rolling well earlier. Oh, that's okay. All right, never mind. We're fine. 24.
24. Okay. So looking around, the light outside doesn't seem to change. You've been in here for probably the equivalent of like a couple hours, maybe, hour and a half or so. And the brilliance of this landscape, this sort of time capsule of what the Feywild was when it first was created. Looking around, the twin suns are still high up in the corner. That sort of big moon is sort of further back in the foreground, but it's not getting dark. It's always just kind of like a midday setting. But you look around and you can see kind of bits of the water from the cave coming out to this first plateau of grassy area as it kind of falls down into a bit of a waterfall to the ground below it. But you're just listening to the calmness of the stream kind of fluttering down, looking around, various pixies and fairies kind of flying by all around. You're like kind of sitting on top of a very tall peak that you can kind of peer through some of the trees in front of you as you look up to those mountainous terrains where the cherry blossoms start to come into full view above you. As you look up, those incredible looking dreamscape dragons with the swirling galaxies embedded in their scales kind of fly high above your head. Just every so often, Zero. Sweet sort of smelling scents of like rose and lilac and things related to that kind of waft by in warm, sweet scents. But don't notice anything. Nothing comes to your party. You're good.
Can I, while I'm sitting here, make an Arcana check on the seeds that she had received previously?
Yes, you can. Roll an Arcana or Nature check.
Ooh, Arcana or Nature? I'm going to roll Arcana because my Arcana is higher than my Nature.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be 11 plus 7, so 18.
18. So looking at this rough hemp bag that you received, as one of the sort of Feywild gifts given from the monarch to you for protecting her from Loki and also defending her from this crazy symbiote monstrosity that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You reach into the bags, everyone's asleep, and you pull out these seeds that, as I described earlier, were kind of like a dark red coloration with various off-white spots on top of it.
Mhm.
You kind of peer over as Zarba kind of peers out to the entrance of the cave, just kind of looks around. Very, very skittish, very kind of curious, like on high alert from all the insane things just happened. And he's just keeping good protection of the monarch as he kind of waddles back inside. You look at the coloration and it looks very similar to the cap on top of his mushroom form.
Okay. So as she's holding them, she's holding a couple of these. She's like, Tarek can never tell me that I can't have them again, and put them back in the bag.
Do you say that out loud?
To herself, like quietly. She's like, Tarek can't tell me no now. They were gifts.
Should check.
Yep.
If I hear that.
Yep.
Damn it.
She's just gonna put them back in the bag. And then,
Tarek twitches in his sleep,
yeah, he's like,
rolls over.
what? No, all right. Then put them back in the bag. There was how many of them?
There.
I don't know if there was a number put to it. I'm just gonna put it in the notes of Farrell's character sheet.
There was 5.
5. Okay, great.
5 seeds in total.
All right. So she'll-
They're fairly big too. They're not like tiny
Yeah.
little bean seeds. They're like fairly large, like maybe like this size or so, kind of like in a sunflower seed formation.
I do remember that being like them in a sunflower seed. Okay, perfect. She's gonna put the little bag back in her bag itself and then continue her watch if nothing else happens. Feeling awful pleased with herself.
I will call him Squishy and he will be mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna name this
And
one
who do you
Tarek.
wake up
and
for the
this one
second
Ramir,
watch?
And this one's Fiend, and this one's Sir Strange.
So as Farrell, you are just going to sleep, and the rest of you are sound asleep. I would like the 4 of you to roll Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh, does Farrell not attempt to wake me up for a second watch?
She has. This is kind of before she wakes you up. This is as the 4 of you have slept. This is enacting this saving throw.
Gotcha.
18.
18.
That's a crisp, dirty 20, baby.
Con,
20?
correct?
Constitution saving throw.
A natural 20.
20.
24.
24. Okay. So, after the first round of sleep is over here, with Farrell going to Tark to wake him up.
Yep, she'll just Tarek. Poke. It's your watch.
Right.
Nothing weird.
In a place like this, nothing weird.
I mean, dragons and Zarbak is being on high alert. So if you guys let it
I'm sorry, go circle back. What?
the dragons, like the galaxy dragons, Tarek. You know the ones above us.
Vaguely, yes.
I mean, anyways, dragons, galaxy dragons. You know those things.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just
He's,
those.
he's not looking at you, by the way. This is kind of
What is-
staring off.
What is wrong with you? Did you not sleep well?
It's nothing.
Spill it.
It's not worth it.
Spill it. I didn't ask if it was worth it. I asked what it was.
What's your real name?
Oh shit!
I was not expecting that, Benjamin. You got me.
I
got me.
was not expecting- Hold up.
Hold on. I gotta make sure no one spills the tea. Let me go over here.
Straight eye contact with you.
Okay. Whew. Damn, Benjamin. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Out with it.
I'm sorry.
What's your real name?
Why does it matter? Haven't we had
Just
this
wanna know.
conversation a couple of times? I feel like we've had this conversation a couple of times.
Just want to know.
Why?
Why are you so defensive about it?
Because why is it so important to you? Why is feral not enough for you?
I don't know. I just feel like something happened recently.
With what?
Perhaps. Well, I noticed a change in you.
You're gonna have to be more
You must-
specific.
You must have seen it too.
You're going to have
The
to.
Wagons community.
What about Wagons community?
After
Oh, after. What about it?
we got to 10 towns, things
Yeah.
changed. You know they did. It's obvious, right?
I don't know. That depends on what you're implying. Out with it. Either be forward with me, or
I am being forward with you. That's
if
all.
this is forward, perhaps work on your forwardness.
Wow. Ouch. This is what I mean. Why are you being like this? Why?
Really?
Yeah, I just why? What changed? What happened? Why? Whenever we talk now, why is it always like this? I don't understand. What happened? What changed?
I've told you nothing changed. I told you this is me. I told you this has always been me.
I think you're the only one who doesn't see that.
Right. I'll be sure to ask the rest of the party their opinions of how much I've changed later on after they wake up. Thank you.
He'll just get up and just go and take his watch.
If you don't like feral, you can call me Lilith. And with that, she'll go off. She will walk away entirely.
Just don't try to manipulate me anymore.
I don't have to. She will leave entirely off to one side.
All right.
Shit, Ben, you really came and said, let's fight
Yep.
today.
Yeah.
All right. You're muted, Kevin.
There we go. Professional. As Ben, as you go and have those words
Mhm.
exchanged between you and Farrell goes to lay down at her bedroll with the others still sound asleep. We enter into the next couple hours of rest. For all of you, besides Ben, please roll me another Constitution saving throw.
11.
18.
18!
Do I also make a con save now?
You sir do. You are
Okay.
asleep.
I just want to make sure. Con 17.
17. Ben, make me a perception check, please.
17.
17. John, roll me a d20, please.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh my god. I don't know what it means, but it is a crit.
No, why are you using the dice I gave you, John? Why are you like this?
Crit. It means you have 20 symbiotes inside you.
Oh no. Oh, Kevin. I don't like that.
Oh shit. Fiend, roll me another d20, please.
Oh,
Oh,
no. Oh no, I don't like that.
A 2, if you will.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it, Kevin. I don't like it.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I'm a dragon.
He's broken! Oh no, our warlock, he's broken!
You're right.
This is
You're
just
about
where the
to
scene plays out where Feral stabs me to death with her cursed blade.
Oh no!
It's not going to be Fiend.
Finally, Fiend. I need you to roll me a D100.
I can do that. I'm going to use the sap dice if they don't drop all of
Why are you using my dice? You're gonna blame me for whatever happens.
Because they roll fairly well. That is a 70.
Oh.
A 70.
Yes. Look at this distinguished gentleman.
The way he is rolling, yeah.
Look at this distinguished gentleman. Okay. Let me just write these things down here really quick. And remind me, John, are you taking watch?
No, it is me.
I am on fire.
Yeah.
You are resting. No watch for you, son. Okay. That's fine. Okay. And Ben, you got a 17?
Yes.
Okay. Can you roll me, Ben, a D12?
A D. This is a lot of rolls, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
It sure
Very
is.
concerned as to what this means. Where's my D12? There it is. Huh. Oh, this is either really good or really bad. That is a 12 on the D12.
You guys are just
Kevin, I hate whatever you're doing right now. This bit, I don't like it. It's making me nervous. In front of my salad, Kevin?
in front of my salad? How dare you? Okay, can't copy that. Okay, so, Tarek.
Yeah.
Everyone's asleep. Just kind of alone with your thoughts. What is Tarek's emotional state right now? What is Tarek feeling in all of
A little angry.
Mhm.
A little hurt. A little betrayed. But ultimately is just thinking you just gotta push on through it. It's not worth it.
As you
Not
kind of
worth
sit,
being upset about anymore.
as you kind of sit down in the center of this kind of semicircle that the party's kind of arranged, sleeping around you, as you kind of sit cross-legged, mulling around, just kind of looking it over as all the new abilities have been unlocked with it. Lots of thoughts going through your mind about why was the power of this hammer kept from
That's
me.
also on his mind.
You know,
about that.
the relationship with Feral, just feeling like with your history of being mind controlled and used as a tool, you got a lot of conflicting emotions kind of going on. You can kind of see that the lush green environment around you, just where you're sitting, this curling of grass kind of churns into these browns and reds and yellows around you as this sort of hateful energy is kind of going through you just for a little bit. You kind of started to notice it to curl around you, and it kind of takes you by surprise for a minute. You kind of reach down to the grass and pull it up, and it's just dry, like it'd been in the sun way too long. And it's just kind of fascinating just to see it kind of churn and turn right before your eyes.
Damn, I know I'm a tiefling, but like this is a bit much.
And as you're kind of looking at this grass, a letter hits your chest and falls on the ground beside you as a raven flies past.
Tarek immediately stands up, tries to see where the raven's gone.
Make a perception
Guessing-
check.
14.
14. Don't see where the raven went. Just kind of swoops down, dropped off this letter, and just went to the tree line.
Tarek will just very carefully lean down, pick it up. We'll look at the address on it, or who it's addressed to. Is there any writing on it, I'm guessing?
There is writing on it, and I'm going to message you what the writing is.
Secrets.
Secrets.
We're getting secret letters. Secrets.
And it's up to you if you want to tell the party about this or keep it to yourself?
Interesting. Okay. What secrets are you sending me, Kevin? Secret things.
Well, let me send you it again. That's better.
Aha. What?
It's up to you if you'd like to read that out loud or keep that to yourself.
Wait. What? Huh? Oh, Kevin, what is this? What is this wizardry you've sent me? I mean, that's confusing. Tarek will read it.
Mhm.
Look back over to the direction he saw the raven go. Look back at the letter. Very confused. What the fuck? He just says that.
You don't read it out loud, just keep it to yourself?
I mean, everyone else is asleep right now, right?
Right, but this is for the audience to know what it is.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Do you want us
All right.
to take the headphones off because we can? Do
No.
that.
It's not one of those. It's not one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wouldn't read it out loud, but for the audience, I will read it out for you. This letter says, I hope you get my letter. I wish to wish you well. Is that all it says?
It says, I admire you in secret.
Oh, yeah,
and I just
sorry, I
think
missed that
you're
bit.
swell. I hope you get my letter. I wish to wish you well.
Yep. Is it signed
Yes.
by anyone?
It's signed at the bottom says the letter is secretly from the Raven. That's it.
He's so confused. Just like, Myra, what? This again looks towards this raven, just like trying to work out where it's gone, see if it's still watching him.
It's gone.
He's gonna put it in his pocket, very confused. Just doesn't say anything. He doesn't know how to react.
You look at the parchment, it just looks like normal, like
Yeah.
parchment envelope. Doesn't have a seal on it or anything.
Yeah. The fact that it's
When you take out the letter, a bit of glitter kind of falls out of it, but that's about it.
Ramira wrote this. Glitter bomb, I knew it. Dead giveaway.
But as you kind of contemplate what the letter is
Yeah.
or what that raven was, you just
Yeah,
kind of
he's just like-
confusing.
It came from the raven? What? Ravens can't write? How?
Then you go after a couple of hours have gone by.
Yeah, he'll just read over it a couple more times, trying to see if there's some sort of secret meaning in it. Like this, he's reading it at face value, and it's like, this is preposterous. This is what? This is some fey trick. I must study this and find the secret meaning.
Okay.
So he's just
that you go wake up the next person in the watch.
which is strange.
So strange. Okay.
Just go over and just gently wake. So strange.
Yeah.
And feel watch.
Cool.
Are you all right?
Yeah, you just woke me up and we're good. I'm going on my watch. Are you good?
A little confused. A lot of emotions right now. Some of them
Alright.
good, some of them bad. Mostly confused though.
That happens in the Feywild.
Yeah, just be aware. This place might try to mess with you a little bit.
I mean, I was born here, so yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Strange, this is going to sound like a really stupid question. Looks to make sure everyone else is asleep. This is going to be like, Strange, can ravens of the Feywild write letters?
I mean, actually, not even the Feywild, ravens are actually quite intelligent. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure they could hear in the Feywild. Anything can happen.
Tech once again kind of looks up towards the trees. No reason, just thought about it. Good night.
Just falls asleep.
Just like, oh man, I'm really tired. Lies down and just pretends to snore.
All right. So as we go into the next couple hours of rest, I'll have the rest of you once again make Constitution saving throws. And for Sir Strange, make a perception check.
As they're walking away to do their the whole thing, they're just thinking about it, and they call me strange.
Badumch.
Wow. Okay, listen. All right. Normally you don't receive letters from ravens. All right. Usually it's from someone through the raven, not the raven itself.
Actually, John, you're exempt from this saving throw.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Farrell
I
comes
hope I'm
12.
also exempt.
12? Okay.
Yeah, I got a 3.
I got a
Great.
crisp adventurer 16.
Sorry, 3 plus 4. Never mind. It's going straight off. So,
All right.
7.
Farrell and Tarek, roll me d20s, please.
Oh no! Great.
Don't crit.
Now I get a 19.
8.
Okay.
Very interesting, I'm sure.
Farrell.
Well, we hate it 100%.
Yeah.
Ben, I want you to know that Farrell has never come so close to hitting you in the face. Like, those
Gonna
closest
happen.
I've ever felt to punching Tarek in the face.
Yeah.
Tarek, what'd you roll?
Showing our true colors. 8.
Bitch, what?
Love you,
Were
IB.
you- No. Mm-mm. That's fine.
Wait, what?
Oh, we're. Oh.
I feel like Ramira's gonna wake up to everybody else with amnesia, and she's gonna be like, "Hey guys," and everyone's gonna be like,
Yeah,
"I don't know who
I would
you
just like to
are."
say we had this very tense conversation, and now we're both affected by whatever this is. This is going to be great.
This is gonna be like that scene from Kingsman when everybody in that church goes crazy and kills each other.
Oh no! Exactly.
What happens when you sleep in the
Oh
unfiltered?
no, my Feywild.
Yeah, you can
no.
he's on fiend and he
Our
died.
Tarek. He's
Okay.
right here.
So, Sir Strange, make me a perception check, please.
That's gonna be a 6.
Okay. What is Sir Strange feeling currently? Having just taken a bit of rest, letting the previous events kind of sink in, what's going through their mind right now?
I mean, pretty calm because they let go of everything that was holding them back in terms of anger and rage. And, you know, they're with the person that they care about most, and everyone that they know is safe to a certain degree. So what's there to worry about?
So you're feeling at peace for the first time in a very long time, as the monarch had given you, had decided to take away your fake curse, and that you are no longer subjected to the forgetful nature of when you find true peace and true love. You're finally here with Ramira. You've excavated the symbiote from you. You feel very strong, very focused. You're about to embark towards the next leg of your Feywild journey.
Wait,
That's
where does Strange know where they're going?
You don't know where you're going yet, but you know that you're about to embark on the next leg
Okay,
of your
cool.
journey, whatever
Cool.
that will be. And you kind of sit there sort of in that center as everyone's sitting around you in a semicircle, and the grass, kind of as Tarek leaves, you see that sort of brown and yellow coloration kind of come to full bloom to a lush green once again. And as you kind of come to sit down and just kind of sit there and kind of meditate on these thoughts, various little roses start to kind of bloom around you with these thin little stalks with thorns coming out of them, bright blooms of red kind of coming in all directions all around you. Various other sort of colorations of flower kind of blooming as you're kind of like very at peace and calm. Roll me a d12, please.
Fuck. That's gonna be 7.
7.
Yeah. I don't like I said that. 7.
So as you're kind of sitting there deep in thought, meditating, thinking these things, you kind of have your sword down to one side, your shield, helmet, all your gear kind of around you, around your bedside. Kind of looking up at the various purples and green hues of an everlasting golden, colorful sunset that just kind of permeates this land. Kind of reach over to the hilt on your sword just to kind of bring it over, maybe clean it a bit after slashing through so much of that symbiote goop. And then you look down and all of your gear, all of it is covered in glitter head to toe. Like your mask, your shield, your sword, you look down, your armor is just covered in glitter. You lift up the hilt of the sword, just this all falls off and is permeating all of the glass lands around you. You kind of look up and you can sense a couple of ruffling in the leaves and the trees around you. Zoom, zoom, zoom. These sort of like zipping noises coming past your ear.
Yeah. I forgot why I hate it here. Well, won't be here for long. So, glitter all around. And so are the roses also covered in glitter?
Yes. Everything around you kind of look down, you see that someone just put a glitter bomb and just smashed it all over your equipment and all around you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I fucking hate that.
It's not stuck to it by any means. You could easily like shake it off and it would be okay again.
Yeah, I'm gonna shake it off, and Search Ranger's just gonna keep watch, doing their usual thing. Then before they finish, they're going to pick one of the roses.
Okay. Pick it off the ground, hold in your hand.
Yeah, just gonna hold on to it.
Okay. As you kind of sit there with those thoughts and just look around you with glitter all everywhere, these zipping kind of noises passing by your ear and ruffling into the tree line around you. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have Search Range think about their mother.
Okay.
Because they've pretty much figured out everything, at least to a certain degree. I mean, they fixed the curse. They, again, with a group of friends that have slowly become their family, to which they won't admit often. And they could care less about their father. It's more of, how is their mother still doing? Is she still the same way? Is she different? Is she close? Does she really miss them?
As you sit there and kind of think these thoughts, still kind of situated on the ground, glitter all around you, just kind of starts to spark little instincts of memories from your childhood. You can kind of slowly remember snippets of you walking as a kid, holding Oak Lord's hand in the other and the Queen of Dark and Magic in the other. You remember seeing, kind of walking through these rolling hillsides with just cascading of yellows and browns and bronze, dead leaves on the ground, just tons and tons of them all over the land, with trees, some of them barren, but some of them just full of autumn coloration. And kind of this lovely scene of you walking kind of with them side by side, and as the sun's light is getting low, just a cacophony of tea lights surrounding you all over, like fireflies dancing as the various fairies and pixies are kind of coming out, doing some foraging for food. and you can see them kind of running by. People kind of ahead of you are going out for an afternoon walk and just glitter bombing them as they pass by, and they're going, ah, fuck it, Jesus Christ, and just like smacking them away.
Mm-hmm.
You look up at your mother's face, just looking down at you, just full of pride and full of love. And as you kind of come back to reality, you notice that there's this kind of almost like a dry ice mist kind of wafting around you, except it's like dark shadow kind of seeps to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And as you kind of get up, the mist dissipates, and you go to choose the next person in the watch.
I'll take it.
Stranger's gonna walk over and gonna basically lean over and pelt Ramira lightly with a rose.
She would
Getting
probably
the glitter all over her hair.
No. Oh God. When that happens, initially you would see her probably wake up and go to grab your arm out of like fear for a second, and then be like, "Oh, good morning."
Yeah. Good morning.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Okay. What is happening? And she's
Don't-
like wiping her face.
Oh wow, a rose for you. It just fell out of the sky. Whoa, and just hand it over, trying to wipe off the rest of the glitter. Wow, whoa, that's so. Here you go.
Incriminating.
No, me incriminating never. I'm a knight. I would never do such a thing.
She takes the rose and boops them back. You're lucky you're cute. And she gets up and she's gonna check the pulse on Fiend and do like the mirror check under his nose to make sure he's breathing.
Just apnea right now.
Oh.
Don't worry. I got this. I'll check.
I'd like to point out nobody actually ever healed Fiend before they put him to bed.
Yes, we did. I healed you for 70 when we left off.
Oh, okay.
I am a good cleric.
I was waiting the whole time, like, I think I'm gonna die in my sleep.
No.
Wait, John, how many hit points do you have, having been healed with that 70?
Having been healed with that 70.
Out of
Cool.
97, you're fine.
All right. Yeah, don't worry, Ramira. I'll check his pulse. I got this.
Are you actually doing that?
Not choking him, but just so lightly, like.
I see the skin press in a little bit too hard, and I go, no, gently touch, and don't use your thumb, your pulse. You have a pulse in your thumb. You want to use your 2 fingers.
Do it, pussy.
or he just goes the other way, and in his sleep he just goes.
I don't know.
Stop yet.
I can't stand you guys. She's going to lightly pull a little bit gently. Don't use your thumb. You have a pulse in your thumb. Just the 2 fingers. Just the 2.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Just like you could tell, Stranger's giving them shit just for everything. Like,
And they are so asleep, like dead asleep. Like you keep like fucking around with the neck and like messing with the face. And you just,
Okay. You're
like a sack
done.
of bricks.
You're done.
all right. Okay. Cool.
You're done.
Cool.
You're
Cool.
done. And she, good night. Go, please rest.
Good night. I'm gonna wait till she leaves.
I'm not. I'm checking
I'm
their
pretending.
actual vitals.
I'm pretending. I'm pretending.
I'm checking their actual vitals. Kevin, are they okay? Or is Fiend
So you
alive?
look over to Fiend, and yeah, he looks fairly normal. He has a pulse. He is still breathing. Make me an investigation or medicine check.
I will do medicine because that is what I'm proficient in. Okay, not the greatest, but not the worst. It is a 21.
21. So looking at him just to make sure he's okay from his burns and getting healed up and everything, looks fairly okay. You notice that sort of the crow's feet on his eyes have kind of worsened,
Like deepened?
like deepened. Yeah, like the
Cheryl crow's feet eyes.
yeah, like sort of there's fairly noticeable wrinkles around the corner of his eyes and around the underneath of his the base of his eyes right here. They're kind of getting look pretty dried up. It's fairly noticeable, like it wasn't there before. But it could have been from healing from the fireball. Maybe his skin's still becoming flesh. But you do notice a few more age lines kind of in his skin than before.
I hope this realm isn't aging me. My failed constitution.
Should have used your moisturizer. She just kind of looks at him and like does one of these like assesses the situation kind of thing. Am I able to do like an Arcana check to see why that's happening to him?
If you like, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, okay. That is going to be a 24.
24. With your knowledge of the Feywild and how it works, it's, from what I understand, fairly limited. Make me an intelligence check really quick.
Okay, Kevin. Fuck, it was almost a natural 20. I've been thwarted by the gods. No. It's a fucking 3. 2.
3. So you know that being in this environment can change people sometimes. You've already seen so much evidence of just reality being warped and people going through dreamscapes and memories and trips all on their own. It's safe to say you could probably put 2 and 2 together and think like you're in literally the purest form of the Feywild, that it might just be having spent so much time here already, sleeping in this environment, maybe it's just affecting him a little bit in some way. But he's got a pulse, seems fine.
She kind of just waggles his head by grabbing his horn and waggles his head a little bit. You're going to age me like you're aging now. So and she just kind of like puts his hair back into order and tucks him in a little bit more and then goes on her watch.
Okay. So
Strange.
Strange.
I wait.
I kill Fiend.
No, I'm gonna get a big
Butter it with a
scoop of all the glitter that I have in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go up to Fiend, all over his face, and then I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay. So Strange, make me a stealth check. Fiend, what's your passive perception?
10. Fiend perceptive? Nah.
So stealth, right?
Sleight of hand. Yeah.
Okay, so I have disadvantage. So I rolled twice. I got 20 the first time. I got a 14 on the other time. Plus 2, 16.
Nice. So
You
you
could
can
have
go
a
over to
-3 and it would still be.
I watch you do
Amira
it. She just goes,
Do you?
Yeah, I just let it happen. I'm like...
So as you're kind of like walking by, you kind of take just one quick, after like looking over Fiend, realizing like he's got a bit of crow's feet, looks like he's aging just a tiny bit, but it could have just been dried skin from healing from the fireball. It should be fine. Kind of get up, start walking away, and you just hear just like the creaking of Sir Strange's armor as you just kind of look by, and he's like,
He looks younger.
Do it. Go harder. Go. Do more.
Just like...
I want to feel like it's raining.
And so, yeah, and then I
as you just
pass
keep
out.
pouring more and more.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting rid of all of my glitter. I'm cleaning the
just
evidence.
brushing it off of him, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
a giant just dump truck of glitter just all over Fiend's face and body. It'll take forever to get out. There's pools of glitter kind of falling into the grass behind, underneath his like armpits and shoulders and everything.
And a clap back to last time. Bitch.
Okay.
Jerk.
And with that, Ramira, roll me a perception check, please. And Sir Strange, roll me a Constitution saving throw as you enter into your final hours of sleep.
That is a watchful 15.
Okay.
You
What'd
belong on the
get?
wall.
It belongs in the museum. What'd you do?
Wait, okay. So hold on, I forgot how to do saving throws again. Give me 1 second.
So it should be on your D&D Beyond sheet. There's a little box of saving throws right under your first couple stats. It'll tell you the modifier to add to the D20.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So I add my +7. Okay, because 14.
14 con save.
Yeah.
Roll me a D20, please.
1.
Don't you wish you were old just like me?
Oh, 1. Okay.
My dice isn't doing so well right now.
Kevin really said, "Oh, you're all gonna roll dice tonight."
Okay. Okay. All right. And Ramira, roll me. Sorry, you did roll perception. It was 15.
It's a watchful 15. An observer's 15.
Observer's 15. You sort of sitting there, again in the center of the semicircle of your companions, sort of sleeping. What is Ramira going through currently? What are their kind of thoughts and feelings as they're kind of sitting here?
She's feeling a lot of big feelings, if I could say so. She is both exceedingly happy and incandescently so with her partner. Big question mark on the end of that, because she doesn't know the person she cares deeply for and who has been nothing but good to her. She also is very grateful for her 2 other tiefling friends who have been backing her up and taking care of her and the shenanigans that have ensued, and also both loves and wants to strangle her best friend. So she's feeling a lot of ways. But decent overall, the best she's felt in a couple weeks.
That's good. As you're kind of sitting there contemplating all these thoughts, the area around you, the grass kind of starts to grow a bit taller. As you're kind of knelt down, sitting around there, kind of looking.
I braid the grass.
You sure can, as it kind of grows, kind of up past your waist, past your chest, kind of just starts to grow all around you. Kind of noticing it like tall crabgrass, and you're like, "This be fun."
Henry crabgrass.
You take 2 big clumps of it, and you start like braiding them together as these eventually. Make me a performance check. Fuck it.
Oh. Oh no, it's not very good. That is a novice 11. No, 12. It's a 12. It's
a novice 11.
Henry Crabgrass, I forgot to ask you if I could braid your hair.
Consent is sexy.
It is.
So as you start braiding the chunks of the tall grass, like you actually make like decent sized braids, and after a while you're kind of thinking these things, and it's kind of a good therapeutic thing to do while you finish up the last sort of hours of rest. And before you know it, you've got like a good like 5 or 6 kind of just like
so
wobbling,
beautiful.
tied up braids of grass that are kind of like wobbling back and forth. And as you're kind of tying up the last kind of braid, you hear kind of directly behind you where you've laid your bag down beside you.
Oh. She's going to slap her bag.
Ow!
Oh! Hello?
You look up and there's this tiny little pixie.
Oh.
About this big, tiny sized, with like glorious bioluminescent fairy wings, with kind of like dark tanned skin, very like pink rosy cheeks. They look like they have freckles, but they're in the shape of little yellow stars, kind of around the cheekbones on their face. They have bright. One iris is yellow, and the other one is like a light pink. And they are kind of wearing just like a how'd you call it? They're kind of androgynous looking. Their hair is kind of short on all sides and kind of messed up and wavy off to the side. And they're wearing kind of this skirt-like fashion made out of like various green leaves and things like that. Barefooted. Their feet look a bit dirty. Tiny little like what look like peas. Like peas from a pod, kind of wrapped around their wrist, like a little
like a little bracelet.
Yeah, a little bracelet, and it kind of fall down. A little glitter kind of falls down.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Are you going to kill me?
No, but you could get out of my things.
I'm sorry. I wasn't going to steal your things. I was just going to make your bag a bit more entertaining.
Oh, I see. And she waves the flower around with all of the glitter on it. You wouldn't happen to pass around some glitter, do you?
Not me. That was my friend over there.
Okay.
And as you look up over the tree line, there's a tiny little pixie. It just looks like a little firelight going, hello.
Hi. I would like to insight check this pixie to see if they were actually going to steal my things or if they were there just for prank. Father? What am I saying with my words?
Freud.
Fucking what? What am I doing with my life? 14. It's not that good.
14. So you look up at the little pixie friend in the tree line that just like, again, there's kind of like floating tea lights kind of in all directions around you. And in the tree line, there's kind of a bit of a smattering of them. But as you kind of start to look closer, you can see them kind of like independently moving in different directions the rest of them are. They're just kind of floating down. And as this little pixie looks up at you, he's like, no, I don't need your things. What do I need things for? It's just been a long time since anyone knew us. This came about, and we just wanted to have a little bit of fun. That's all. I was not doing anything to steal your things or anything of the sort. I was just going to do something funny to your bag.
Okay. Well, how about you take several paces back? Also, I have to tell chat that I was literally trying to say motherfucker at once, and it came out father. That's how it
came out father, and your sign fits so well.
I know. This is what happens when you can't speak.
Wow.
Why was I allowed on the show? She just goes, okay, how about you take a couple paces back?
Oh, okay. Could I do it possibly to one of your friends' bags?
Don't fucking dare.
She thinks about
It'll
this.
be really, really funny, I promise you.
She's thinking really hard about this one. How about not their bags? How about just them? So when they wake up, it's like a fresh snow of glitter.
I would like to clarify, Farrell is laying 35 feet away from everybody else. So
it wouldn't be glitter, my friend.
What? Okay, hey, we're getting into some weirder territory, friend. What is it?
It's in here. And just puts his hands out like this. It's inside. I promise I won't hurt you. I'm too small to hurt you.
That's, first of all, a terrible lie. Things that are small can kill lots of things that are bigger. And she leans in very closely. I want to take part in this fun little game that you're doing. If you do anything to harm me or my friends or trick us that is not in the fun way, I will kill you.
I'm very afraid. Okay, yeah, deal.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
I am. You know what? You've got me. You've sold me.
Right? It was gonna happen when you open up your bag. I know, right? It's fucking funny. It's funny, right?
Me, the player, is trying to balance this interaction so hard. I'm losing my will to Ramira. My shit's gonna get stolen. You know what? How about you do it to my bag, and I'll have my friend open it.
Fair enough. Excuse me. Kind of like puts over your foot, kind of out of the way. Goes over, kind of puts the head like
to
into
watch
the bag
him
starts,
very
like,
carefully. I don't want him to take any of my things.
Yeah. Goes in there, starts rustling around, kind of clanking and sort of hitting sort of various items in your bag. Okay, it's all done.
All right. Does he have anything? Did he take any of my shit?
Make a investigation check or insight check or investigation.
Insight for me, my lad.
Okay.
Fuck. Oh, it's cocked. Fuck. Fuck, it's still not good. 16.
You look down at his tiny form. Anything for him to drag out, even
Listen.
like a small dinner fork would be like the size of him. Now you didn't see him like drag anything out of your bag. You were like looking at him the entire time. Didn't put anything off the side or anything. He just kind of had his butt out in the upper half of the body, just rifling away, trying to set something up, and then came out.
All right. You've had your fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
And just takes up into the tree line.
I'm excited about this. Great. I continue my watch and I keep my eyeballs out for any weirdo pixies.
No other pixies come to you. You seem to have caught one kind of red-handed. The array of various lights are kind of drifting and floating kind of into the skyline and kind of into the tree line are kind of still there. But after that one kind of skipped up, you saw like 4 or 5 other sort of lights go like blink out.
That's weird. Like eaten and suddenly put out, like their light was put out, or they turned their
just
light
the light just became muffled into the foliage of the tree, like they ran away.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like, oh, I'm having so much of Okay, cool.
Okay, so as you reach the final hours of your rest, again, the light never changes. It's always just still that kind of time between the sun just about to set, so you get those glorious array of colors in the sky. But the rest is up.
Ah, look at that. A perfect exactly 8 hours of rest.
Wow,
If we had to put a number.
amazing.
If I had to put a number on, I put my bag back near my bedding, and as people are waking up and whatnots, and I'm checking the pulse again of Fiend and just like checking vitals and stuff like that as Tarek wakes up, I go, Tarek, could you get the wraps from my bag, please?
What? Sorry.
So Tarek, as you wake up,
Oh no.
kind of get up from the bedroll, your hair has grown out to a Albert Einstein like
Yes.
configuration. It is like you just got put your finger in a light socket, like it's stringed out and just all over the place, like a giant like Bob Ross afro, but with like the spikes juddering in all directions as your horns kind of peer through it.
You look ridiculous.
And you've got a bit of a waterfall coming down the back of like a mullet kind of thing, and it kind of
I
springs
was gonna say
out.
he has like long hair. He has like a ponytail. So, yeah, he doesn't notice. He just sits up, just like, sorry. What was that, Ramira?
Oh, wow. Nothing. Could you grab the bandages out of my bag? And she's like taking in his hair as she's like, okay.
Tarek reads it the complete wrong way and just goes, "I'm fine.
No,
Sorry."
what? No,
Rough
I meant
night.
for Fiend.
What?
No, I need to bandage Fiend. Can you just grab me the bandages?
Yes. Sorry. It's a long night. And he'll just go over to the bag and open it.
And as Tarek, as you go to open the bag, immediately you just hear a
Can Tarek make a perception check to see if he can work out where that came from?
came from the bag. It
All
was very
in.
loud.
Just straight up.
Just
all
a fart
in.
coming out of the bag right at you.
Like a whoopee cushion.
And Farrell, as you all sort of start to wake up one at a time,
Yep.
kind of stretch out a bit, and Tarek's kind of like sort of in your vicinity,
What the fuck?
and you stand up, and you find yourself looking up at Tarek.
No!
Your height has shortened by 2 feet.
Oh my gosh, he was 5'5". I'm just gonna look down at Farrell and be like,
You're a wee person.
You're about the size
my
of a
goodness.
halfling.
You're
Tarek's just gonna open this bag, hear the whoopee cushion, and just be like, Ramiro, what?
It was a
Feral.
prank. Oh my god!
She's going to look up at Tarek and be like, nice hair.
I immediately get smaller. I go down to her size of 3 feet, and I run over to her and I go, oh, I don't know. Are you secretly a shapeshifter? Tell me.
No! I mean, yes,
What
I can
happened?
shapeshift, but no!
Okay.
did not do
Just wait
this.
there. Wait, just stay like this, and then
I can't exactly change it. I don't
She
think.
changes up to her 5'10" height and like towers over Feral. This is so fun. Let me pick you up.
No! Do not pick me up. Do not pick me up.
But you can see so far from there.
No, I don't want to be picked up.
Ooh,
She's
you're
so angry. It's so adorable.
I know.
And
you're
it says with
Stop,
a big
don't make me come
smile
up
on
there.
his face.
And then finally,
You'd have
Sir-
to climb first.
or not finally, but second to last, Sir Strange, as you hear this commotion ringing all around you of Feral's newfound height and Tarek's amazing new hairdo, you wake up with this fervor of righteousness, glee, high energy, this proud, boastful feeling that you can't ignore. It just wafts all over you. The excavation of the symbiote from your body, getting all these newfound feelings of accomplishment and the steady-headedness is just flowing this all-encompassing happy feeling around you. Your alignment has shifted all the way to lawful good.
Oh no!
I can do this. Hold on. Wow! I feel great. Hey, Feral, how's the weather down there? That was a joke. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. If I did, I'm sorry. I don't mean to invalidate your experience as being someone that is short. That's okay. Oh, hey, Tarek, nice hair, looking good, looking smooth, looking sharp. Not like a knife. I don't really like knives. How are you doing? Fiend, I am so I'm gonna run over to Fiend, like smack the glitter. I'm so sorry. Pick him
No,
up.
Strange, leave it. It's so good.
No, I
So
did it.
as you go over to Fiend, and Ramiro, as you go over to check on Fiend, kind of the two things happening at the same time.
Everyone's so weird this morning.
You roll Fiend over from his side.
He's dead.
He's died.
The head goes with it.
Who did it? Murder mystery now.
You notice quite a lot has changed on his face and his being. He's not old like a grandpa. 100 years hasn't passed, but around 10 years or so.
Oh no, he's gained
Silver fox.
And you start to see gray kind of coming up into the sides of his hair. This sort of wild man beard, almost revenant style, protruding off of his face. Those sort of gray lines kind of worsen a little bit as this age has happened. Fiend, you have, for all intensive purposes, have gone through an Inception-like experience. You went to sleep, you woke up, no one was here, and you've been living in your head in the domain of delight infinity for 10 years by yourself.
Oh shit!
And you just woke up, you went to bed like you do every other night for the past 10 years,
This is the worst timeline.
and you've woken up, and your friends are all around you, like that first night that happened 10 years ago.
Oh no!
This is literally the worst thing that could fucking happen. Kevin, what is wrong with you in these
I didn't roll a 20, and then the other thing.
If there's a break, I would do it here. 'Cause I have no idea what to do.
Well, everyone, why don't we take a quick break with all that new information?
What?
And we'll let Fiend
I'm so mad.
Player John
Oh my god.
What is going on?
figure out how to roleplay this next part.
What the fuck?
Welcome to the chaos of the
Someone's getting
unfiltered
disintegrated.
Feywild.
Someone's getting disintegrated.
Yeah. Here.
We will be right back in 5-10 minutes, everyone. Please do not go anywhere. This is going to be pretty fucking
My
interesting.
God.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for waiting for us while we figured out this very important and sudden story detail change. Okay, so last we left off, Mr. Fiend, his body had just been rolled over after you all took a good 8 hours long rest in this domain of delight of infinity, the most purest and ancient form of the Feywild. For all its intensive purposes, this is like the Big Bang happened and the Feywild grew, and this is the domain you are currently in. And as Ramira turned over Fiend's body, you noticed that his skin had aged considerably. There was gray in his hair on either side. He had this big, bushy, revenant-styled beard on his face. And as he turns over, he starts to open his eyes.
Everyone is just growing hair like mad overnight. Fiend?
Fiend just puts his hands behind his head, wakes up, yawns, and goes, it's never kept... What? The effects have never lasted this long.
What are you
Interesting.
talking about?
Yes, what am I talking about? And he taps you on the side of your face very lightly. He goes, yes, Ramira, I know. And he gets up. So strange. You're not here very often. Interesting.
Is Strange still under the effects of the...
No, yes, you are still, I'll recap that as well. Feral, Tarek, and Sir Strange also under the influence of the Feywild. It seems that they fell asleep with Feral growing 2 feet shorter, Tarek's hair grown in this crazy Albert Einstein, Bob Ross fashion, Sir Strange's personality and mood becoming more energetic, boastful, positive to lawful good.
All right, I'm gonna pull a Don Quixote.
Oh, God.
Fiend, my good friend, make haste. Adventure we must do.
What?
Go on.
Just chill for 2 minutes.
Strange,
Chill.
why are you talking like that?
I feel great. I can see.
Good.
I can fight.
Okay.
You've never taken part in the pixie dust before. Why now?
Are you I mean, there was no time for you to take... Oh, God, it's all over you. No, not that.
He sees Tarek's hair and it's just like, he like hops towards Tarek and it gets down like in a fighting pose and kind of like lightly taps Tarek's abs. It's like, I've never seen your hair so crazy. Interesting, my friend. Ah!
He just
Little
leans
Pharaoh.
forward
Don't
and just
scream at me.
just leans forward and just bonks you on the head. Not hard, just enough to just knock you back a little bit.
What is going on?
If you call
Well.
me little again, I'm going to stab you.
Fiend, you're
Tiny
acting
then.
strange.
Pixie dust is hallucinogenic. Don't do pixie dust.
Why are you telling us that now? We dumped so much on him.
What is happening right now?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. What we have to do is gather breakfast. Haven't eaten since I went to sleep. What are you all feeling this morning? Where's Peridot Lemon Drove?
What?
Peridot. Who?
Peridot! Where are you? I could have sworn when I was waking up I heard your farting bag.
Oh, gods. And she
Oh.
grabs the Fiend's face, like by the chin, kind of thing. Hey. I can't tell if Strange and I massively overdosed you last night on accident, or if you're having some kind of leftover brain damage from when you fireballed yourself. No.
Sorry.
Are you
I am
focused?
focusing.
I'm trying to get
focused.
you here, and you're not doing any of that.
It's hard to pay attention to the fake. You know, you haven't been here in a while.
Did you
Fake.
just call him fake?
He just called me fake. I took a fireball for you.
Like, I
don't know.
I know you took a fireball for me, and I have worked through that, and I am terribly sorry. I think that it was... What did Daybreak say it was? It was narcissistic of me to believe that I could handle everything on my own.
Oh my God.
What?
What happened to you when
What?
you were asleep?
Daybreak
Why?
Wrinklefoot is a great listener.
I don't hate
Who?
this for you, I gotta be honest, but
Wow.
You.
And then he boops you on the nose and then continues towards the forest.
No, come back here. She's gonna
just-
stand in front of him. Hey, you've got to stop this. Hey. Can someone help me? Hello?
Tarek will just lean forward and just like walk forward and just kind of put an arm around Fiend and be like, Fiend, stop. What are you doing? Just
This is interesting. There's been a lot less touching in the past.
What does that mean, Fiend?
What
No,
you
never mind.
mean?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Fiend, what happened?
Maybe an orgy.
What?
Not with you
I'm
two.
sorry.
No.
What?
Whoa.
You're not
Time
my type.
out.
Sorry.
Time out.
Oh,
Fiend.
I always thought you were cute, Farrell.
Okay, not you.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on.
Never mind.
Tarek just does like a T motion and just like, hold on, time out. Fiend, what happened yesterday? Recite what happened yesterday.
Sure thing. Do Meadow Twill and we went out into the forest.
Do metal.
Hang on.
Do Meadow Twill. And we went out into the forest and we skinny dipped in the what do we call it? The pressure springs, if you will. It's a bit of a different experience. It's like if you were in a jacuzzi, which I know you don't understand, different Feywild term. It turned up to 11 and natural. Very, very good for your pores. Particularly, I enjoyed afterwards when me and Moonbeam would sit and watch the sunset, if you will. After the sunset's done, we then count the amount of stars that are not in the night sky, but what we remembered used to be in the night sky before we did what we did. And the pixies have forgiven me for that.
No. And she gets small to 3 feet size so she can get to Farrell's height. And she just puts her hands on your shoulders, Farrell, and goes, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I think I'm having a psychotic break. I think I've lost it. I think I've...
Right. Okay, so look at me.
Don't have a panic attack. We're going back to the springs today.
You didn't even know what a panic attack was
Fiend.
yesterday.
Okay, look. Okay, Ramira, I know I'm very small right now, which is throwing me for a complete loop, and all of that.
He
is
said
throwing-
narcissist.
I know.
He can't even spell that word.
I'm aware. I'm sure.
I was always good at
I-
algebra.
Shh. You shush.
Fiend, the small people are talking.
I will
Tarek,
literally stab you in your face.
you're like, Tarek.
Like,
Smoke that, your
literally
big
stab
angry.
you in your
Understood.
face.
Mm.
Okay. He's off his rocker,
No, he's
Um,
crazy, right?
right?
You think he
Okay,
just took
right.
too many fireballs to the head?
Okay, but he looks a little older, yeah?
Yes, but why?
Did he age in his sleep? Did he...
Tarek?
I'm just
If you're
gonna, whilst they're having their miniature argument about this, Tarek's just, I didn't think about that. Miniature as in the conversation was short, not.
I will literally stab
I
you in
didn't
the face.
think about that when I said it. Just gonna turn to Fiend and put a hand on his shoulder and be like, Fiend,
Why do you keep
the
touching?
fireball incident was yesterday.
Right. We've gone through
Everything-
this conversation at least
No, we haven't.
343 times. I've cut
Fiend.
you off 276 times.
And how many
I'm
times have I
doing it
punched?
today.
And how many times have I punched you in the face for doing
You've
that?
tried, but you can't do it because
Tarek
you're not
punches him in the
here.
face.
All right. Make an attack roll.
It's unarmed strike. Cool. Yeah. It's unnatural 20.
Okay. Fiend, this is the very first time any of these hallucinations have hit you, and you feel it, and you fall back on your ass.
Ow.
Oh,
Ow.
Tarek, did you have to hit him so hard?
No, I did. Fiend.
I can hit Tarek for you if you want.
Do it
I grow-
again.
I grow back
No.
up to my 5 foot.
No. Fiend. No, this is not. I'm just.
Did you get like
Trying
a
to-
knack for being hurt while you were asleep as well?
Fiend is like,
like start like copying her. Do you hit him back?
Yeah, I just like go to slap him to see if I can make contact with him.
Make an attack roll.
What is going on?
A 19 versus AC?
Just beats it.
Ah! Crisp just meets him at the ear and the corner of the mouth to the ear with that slap.
Then you connect.
What
For the
the
first
fuck,
time in
Fiend?
10 years, you feel physical contact.
Don't. Off.
Were you just imagining for a while that you were touching my face? You touched my face earlier. I don't understand why you're
I
so
didn't
delayed.
necessarily pay attention to it. You know, if you... So, there's a particular flower, and then when you find the root of it, that flower, and he points to the one that Sir Strange had that grew out of the ground. When you cut the roots of that one and eat it, for a moment, you can feel slight contact on.
Is that where the orgy hallucination came in as well?
Which is a no.
Well, the orgies were real. They were real. Not with you all.
Oh, thank God.
I was just merely at wit's end. But you all seem to be real.
Yes.
It's literally been 8 exact hours on the dot.
Yes, it has been literally exactly 10 years. Yes.
No.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
no.
No.
It's been 8
No.
hours, Fiend.
You know, if Freddie Olivop was here, he would probably be able to explain things better to you.
Stop with your made-up names.
Wait, we haven't been in the Feywild that long. There's no way. That's not possible. That.
Why don't you go and ask the monarch that doesn't seem to be here? If you're so smart, if you're so clever, if you're real and I'm fake,
Monarch!
then why has the monarch not been here for 10 years?
I start looking for them. Monarch!
Fiend, you're not fake. You're just.
As you say the monarch's name, you can hear the swishing of water from their roots hitting the shallow ground below.
You know, I always get into trouble. I understand that. I'm definitely the most problematic one of getting caught, but this is crazy.
I'm confused why he thinks he's fake.
He's fake?
No,
He thinks we're fake.
he
We're
said that-
fake.
Yeah, he said that we're
He
the
thinks
fake.
we're illusions or something.
Very
You see the monarch come out from the cave opening. Hello?
Fiend.
Right. Sorry to call you. Things are a little bit weird, gesturing to herself as well
A
as.
little fucky wucky, as the kids on the internet say.
On the what?
It's a woke thing.
Ah, I see.
Oh,
The internet.
I don't.
You see the monarch kind of starting to glidely walk through in their array of bark-like skin and materials and dress and hood that's kind of slightly up with sort of spiked shoulders. Start to walk through. Oh. It's been a long time since anyone spent a while in here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's
whoa,
been
whoa.
10 years.
You're not serious. He actually spent that time?
I believe he believes he did. The Feywild is a living, breathing organism that affects people in all kinds of ways, and this isn't any of my children's tricks. You are essentially living in one of the most purest and unfiltered versions of the Feywild that ever existed, and it seems that your friends' feelings, whatever it was they were experiencing when they slept, have seemed to have an adverse effect on them.
Okay, so, you're saying anytime we go to sleep that we could just feel like we've been gone for 10 years?
Or be this.
Or be short? Was angry part of it, Farrell, or were you...
I was already angry.
I
Okay,
think
okay.
that's
I'm
just-
just trying to narrow down the symptoms of
Oh, no,
what's
that was
going on.
somebody else's fault.
Okay, well, now that we've cleared that away...
This is a byproduct of being in the Fae. It's a natural occurrence, I'm afraid, when you spend a lot of time in this realm.
How do we?
If any of you have any strong memories, feelings, things that might be able to remember who he was?
How do I get tall again?
No, not really. How about this one though? Love this. How about 10 naked elves?
No.
No,
Male
we're
or
not
female,
doing
doesn't
that.
matter.
No.
That's a
Oh.
developmental thing I didn't know about.
A
decade
Now's not the
changes.
time. It does.
Sir Strange, you had your hand up.
Shank's just having a jolly good time right now, just like. Wait, hold on. You said something strong to like trigger memory, sort of thing, like something.
Yes, a strong memory, moment, emotion that might be able to anchor him back to his former self. Something he
Like-
feels incredibly passionate about. Something he maybe couldn't
Like-
stop thinking.
Like getting really upset and, throwing a spell, sort of feeling.
I don't know that we want to enrage.
What if we remind him about a certain fox?
Yes, maybe Reynard, the fox, you are interested in committing a murder.
No?
We were gonna go get your dad.
Yes.
Fiend puts his hand on both Sir Strange and Saf, Jesus Christ, Sir Strange and Ramira's shoulder, and just, I believe that the two of you make a wonderful couple. And wow, just
Excuse me?
the general sense, the consensus that if we're being honest, Freddy, Daybreak, and Do have a thing where it's just if you take 10 steps back and you look at a situation, you realize every journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single footstep.
You are telling me it takes you 10 years to be happy for me and my... No.
Actually, it took about 2.5.
God, I could strangle you.
Okay, all
I
right.
can move this out of the way if you'd like.
So they make a happy couple. Great, cool.
This Reynard, you say? Does anyone have a picture, or does anyone know what this Reynard looks like?
It's a
barely even remember.
tall fox. I don't know if my hunter self works
question.
this way.
If I'm
Just-
being honest, I barely remember anything before the fireball. I've done so much drugs.
Does Fiend, do you still have that journal I gave you at one point?
In all honesty, he comes real close to Sir Strange and leans in. I did run out of toilet paper around the 1.5 year mark.
Oh, so then you no longer need the location of Reynard.
Farrell's gonna trek over to the fiend's bag.
I'm not entirely sure what I was doing with that to begin with.
I'm going to shape
I do have this bag, and it looks
into Reynard?
much better than
Question
mine.
mark.
Okay.
Thank you, Chad.
You transform into Reynard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like that.
She goes, ha 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 ha.
That's not a very good impression.
But I
Not
can't-
doing anything for me, Sir Kevin.
I'm like, listen, Farrell, I'm trying. Oh, I'm very fancy. I steal everyone's money.
Here.
As
Oh, jeez.
Gold. Farrell's like, here,
As-
hold some gold.
Ooh.
Actually,
as Ramira starts to change their form into Reynard, the whimsical Feylord fox that is, for all intensive purposes, like the Feywild's version of Loki. Bit more on the playful fun side, less on the murdery side. And Ramira, you start to shapeshift and your skin starts to become rough and coarse as reddish orange fur and white fur starts to spring out of your skin. Your form kind of shrinks and changes, ears pop up. that sort of Robin Hood-esque adornments of hats and clothing start to flush out. Big bushy tail behind you, snout comes out. And Fiend, at first you and your face just starts to churn.
Ho ho ho! I like to steal other people's money.
Oh, here, try it this way. I want to. Fiend has this bag open.
You've already kind of like you were like taking the bag
Cool.
as
I take the bag from him. Take out.
just his fist clenches around one of the straps. Just
takes out. I'm just gonna leave it. Take out a
Ooh,
pouch of gold.
I bamboozled you again.
I'm taking out one of your pouches of gold and
Is this
handing it
working?
to the image of Reynard.
I hold it. Is this working? Do you think this is working? Don't let him hit me.
I won't. I just.
Fiend, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Just watching Fiend's face, just getting ready for the eventual.
She does a lot of like chomping noises.
You might be overdoing it a little bit, Ramirez.
this is
I
fine.
never
She's
get to
lovely.
do this. I've never changed into a fox person before.
It's a good look though. Like,
Thank you. I'm feeling foxy.
as you
What
should.
did you roll, Fiend?
15.
15. So you look over at Reynard prancing around, Farrell taking this pouch of gold from your bag, giving it to Reynard, and they're kind of boastfully laughing and playing around, but your smile just starts to twitch as this wave of memory kind of flaps into you like a Rolodex. All of the work that you thought you had did to bring peace to yourself, the various forms that you had to go through to reach this point, from the moment you woke up and thought your friends had abandoned you, then realized they would never abandon you. Maybe something happened to them. Use all of your power, your might, to break out of this domain of delight. All of your power, all of your knowledge, breaking through invisible walls once you've reached all four corners of this domain, never able to leave. You then making peace with yourself to accept that maybe this is heaven, and you have finally found the peace that you've been looking for all this time. And you became one with the environment. You let go, knowing that your friends were probably somewhere safe and sound and looked after. You became friends with the wildlife, with the pixies. You climbed the highest peak of the mountainside directly above you, riding galaxy dragons with pixies all fluttering around you, even becoming one with nature itself by hunting these animals, ingesting them, giving thanks and prayers to the land that they have given back to you as you give back to them, growing your own garden, building your own hut. You even remember doing experiments, not experiments necessarily, but playing with the idea of the wildlife, and after finding different ways to, basically hunt and eat, you thought, is there a way that I can amalgamate certain creatures, animals, maybe their life, like after eating them, maybe there's some way I can infuse their magical essence into my own to ignite my own power and to get the hell out of here. One galaxy dragon in particular that you had slain in order to keep yourself alive for a few weeks of meat and resources, beginning to kind of take the wings of the dragon and different intestines and amalgamating them into potions and various enhancements to your own body as you have this one form with these illustrious galaxy dragon wings that just spurt forth from your body as you glide to the top of the very domain itself, only to be hit by an invisible wall and float down. Eventually, as time went on and on, your friends were here once more. Never able to fully touch them and integrate with them, but almost as vivid imaginations coming to life. And you accepted them as such. And then one day, you wake up and you're in the environment around you, and as that seeing Reynard pulls back into you, this rigid need to be the best, to not be bested, to triumph over those that would make a joke out of you. Reminding you of all the stages that you had to get to be who you are in the Skeleton Key gang, to build this reputation of the King of Fear, all that you had done. It is that inner conflict within you that drives you continuously. And it was that drive that, through sheer trial and error, was ripped away from you, changing who you were. Your friends are still with you. Those feelings you had of loss and abandonment are still patched and healed. But somehow seeing Reynard in full form snaps you back. As the wrinkles around your eyes start to seep back into the corners of your eyes, the gray of your hair starts to cling back to its original color. Loki, the tree, Hathawin. All of these people that you had seemingly pseudo-forgotten about, like a memory lost in time way, way back, are suddenly back in your vicinity. They're here with you on this plane. They're obtainable again, and so are your friends. And there's some sort of comfort knowing that you have the ability to reach inner peace. You have the ability to be okay with yourself and one with it. But at the same time, the people you cherish with most are still here. They're not gone. And they have their King of Fear to protect them still. And you have a fox to catch. And you all see Fiend's skin kind of come back to a normal coloration as his hair changes back. You see the old Fiend standing in front of you once more.
I turn back into myself and I fling my arms around him.
Yes, hello.
Being a little more yourself now, Fiend.
I suppose I am.
Please don't hit me for taking your gold.
If I could have that back now, please. Thank you.
Do you? And I'm gonna corral Fiend just gently away from people for a moment.
Yes, please.
Do you want to talk about whatever this is?
What is 10 years of my life gone back in an instant?
You seemed a bit
Happy?
Yes.
Yes. I believe I was. That is for a different Fiend, not this one.
But how about we keep our minds open to it?
It's possible. But right now there's work to do.
You know you worry me on a daily basis.
Look at me. Bounced right back.
And she kind of just holds his face like she is wont to do. You mentioned that while we were gone, and I hope that you know that if I ever disappear, it's not because I want to.
I figured that one out, but I appreciate the reassurance.
She just gently pats him on the face.
Yes.
And with that, guys, interject because I wasn't able to announce this winner when we did the break because we had that sudden change. The winner of the giveaway is Booking for Adventure. Booking for Adventure.
Good name. Ooh.
It is. It's a great name. So, Booking for Adventure. Thank you. Sorry about all. I could have done this a lot better if that thing didn't happen.
Yeah, I love the southern.
Just like, wow, there's a break there. I was going to mention that. Booking for Adventure, you won the Norse Foundry dice. Thank you, everyone, for going to that giveaway. And back to the story.
Was Ramira leaving?
She kind of just sat there and looks at them because she's concerned.
Fiend kind of looks past her a little bit to the rest of the party. Once they're not paying attention, like at least looking, he kind of snaps back and grabs her wrist, but gently, and then kind of twirls her and does a small little dance and goes, "I did miss you, and it is possible for happiness. Don't tell anybody or I'll kill you."
Oh no, our pact to die together will be for naught. And then she like cha-chas away. Come on.
Real smooth this time.
Awesome.
He also kind of looks Tarek up and down a little bit as he walks by. Just,
Why are you looking at me funny?
why are you standing like that there?
What?
I think we should get out of here as soon as possible. Let's get to the
Yes.
laundry.
I agree.
I would
Oh,
like to stop being
strange.
small, please.
We should.
Yes, adventure.
Derek's gonna attempt to fix his hair.
Sorry. Regular Fiend? Fiend sees that shit and just...
I would like to stop
Sorry.
being small, please.
Off we go.
No.
I have a question as the player.
Mhm.
Actually, I guess this is more a question for Jade, but Jade, Ramira's gonna go over to Strange and just gently reach out her hand for their hand. Not that I don't love how chipper you are, could I just test something for, brevity's sake?
That's a big word that I don't understand, but I heard tests. I don't like tests, but I do like you. So I trust you. Are you gonna stab me? Then I wouldn't be upset if you
No.
did stab me because you probably had a good reason.
No. There's typically never a good reason for anybody to stab anyone, so we should really just
Debatable.
cover that. Okay, Farrell,
Yes.
we'll cover that
one.
another time. I said
Okay.
typically, which means there are exceptions to the rule, as she like calls over to Farrell.
Right. Rules are meant to be followed.
No, okay, something's definitely wrong with you. And she is going to use a charge from her necklace to Greater Restoration Strange to see if that does anything.
So you go over and kind of touch them on the shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
pull one of the charms that you break.
It doesn't break because it restores every single day, but she just
Oh,
needs
right.
to say it lights up. Yeah.
Okay, so holding on to the charm, put your hand on Sir Strange's shoulder. You see that flash kind of glows for a couple seconds, and you see Sir Strange's bright smile kind of go down a bit to their usual cadence.
Oh. Farrell, I think I have a growth serum.
What did you use? Because I might be able to fix myself.
Can't you just let me do something nice
Okay.
for you?
You know what? Okay. You know what? This once.
She is actively pouting in your direction.
Look. Oh, fine. This once you can do one thing for me.
Ooh, we're actually friends. And then she uses another
Wait,
charm.
are you? Okay, we can come back to that conversation.
Friends let other friends help each other.
That doesn't sound right.
And she like smushes your lips. Shush, shush, shush. And she's gonna use another charge on her necklace for greater restoration.
Okay.
Does it work?
Go over to test a charm. Put your hand on Farrell's shoulder.
Yeah.
Ugh. I hate being that small.
I thought you were quite cute. And she turns to Tarek. Listen, I know that you also went through a change, but I don't necessarily think that bedhead is a.
I can cut it
Don't
if you want.
worry about it. It's fine.
How about I just take
I'll
scissors
deal
to
with
it? No. I can take scissors to it if you want.
It's fine.
I insist.
The longer we sit here, the longer we go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So if we can get this train rolling,
Yes,
crazy
I
train
think we
rolling-
should stop moving. That might be a good idea.
Good, Mick.
Give me one moment, please. Fiend wants to go talk to the Monarch for 2.5 seconds.
Okay. As you're all gonna cleaning up your camping areas and getting ready to set out for the day, Fiend walks over to the Monarch.
I'm not really sure what to call you at this point. But I'm sorry.
Sorry? Sorry for what?
We've caused you an awful bit of trouble. And I did have a hit out on your life.
Yes, well, when you're tied into one of the most powerful deities on any plane, power attracts both good and bad. It's
I can
more of a
understand that.
circle of life type thing. I am here because of the actions of you and your friends. And little Hathawin is going to be able to live another day because of you.
I have to ask, and I need an honest answer on this one. Call it your bequeathment to me, if you will. What is Hathawin? Really?
Hathawin is an echo of the Tree of Infinity. One that had to have been grown and tended to for quite some time to be able to reach the status that she has. Somebody had to have taken a piece of the tree, taken it back to your plane, and fostered its care. Do you know of anybody who would want to do this?
Instinctually, who's old enough to?
Where did you meet
Hathawin. I'm sorry?
Where did you meet Hathawin?
Cave system underneath the Icewind Dale area. She said she was 1,000 years old.
Curious.
Do you think it was somebody from Asgard the last time they were here?
It could be. There was a coronation of sorts when my body was taken from the Feywild plane and come back to the roots of where it all started. Each court member took a branch of the Infinity Tree as a declaration of the new independence from the old ways, to signify the start of what you may know as the Seelie and Unseelie courts.
Interesting. I'm embarrassed to ask this question, but the rest of them aren't here, so I have to know. I lived 10 years here in peace and prosperity. The first year was hard, and it got easier every year after that. I made peace with myself. I became happy. I worked very hard. to be enlightened. I respect and appreciate the Fae in a difference that I hadn't before. But I'm me again. And while I missed my friends desperately, my family, and while I love this place, you're old and have knowledge. I take it as I've already lived my life through peace and happiness, and I want to give that to others. What else can I do other than ripping your heart from your chest to become a god? Who else holds this power? Somebody evil. Somebody this world could be rid of.
There are many ancient beings throughout many, many planes with possessions of items and limbs and organs of all types that could signify what you would call God tier.
How about this much? I don't want to kill anyone. To take their power. But how do I stop Odin? And if need be, how do I kill him? You're the oldest of the Fae. And he is, and forever will be, your greatest enemy.
We have taken many precautions to keep the Asgardians out of the Fae. While for quite some time, why would he need to be eliminated? He has respected our ways of life for quite some time.
Oh, has he? And he just so happens to introduce me to Loki. Introduce me to somebody who knows Loki, knows the only way to the Feywild. I'll spare you the boring details because I assume that you can see where I'm going with this one. I don't think Odin likes losing, and I think not having the Fae means he lost, regardless of what he said. However much time it takes, he wants to be here, and he wants the Fae. Asgardians are conquerors, the gods of war. He is the god of wisdom, and I don't think wisdom loses very often. If I wanted Gungnir from his grasp, how do I free it? If you know.
The only being that I have ever seen to make a dent in Odin and to use his own spear against him was one of the many titans that almost ruined this land all those years ago during the Divine War. These titans hold the ultimate power. They almost broke down Asgard and us together, and it was through our combined forces we were able to take them down. But I'd be lying if I said I'd felt that I didn't feel uneasy lately. Familiar feelings are traipsing through these woods. Old familiar scars are opening up. Various portals opening, items coming into possession of those that know not how to wield them. If you are looking for a power to match that of the Allfather, you might want to know what this one is up to. And waves her hand over to Farrell's decapitated Sam head. These beams of light
What?
open from Sam's eyes, creating sort of a holographic image of sorts. As you see a lonesome Sam walking around. The sort of put together body of Sam is just sort of wandering around with that old form of his, with all of the furniture and metaled weapons kind of configured into this Ultron-like body with that long swooping red cloak over to one side. Hello? Is anyone out there? His metal feet kind of hitting against rock and stone and dirt. Is anyone out there? A voice kind of comes from behind him. Yes, I'm here. Don't worry, friend. You are in safe hands. As this voice kind of emanates out in the dark, this lone view of Sam. What? Who is out there? All this arcane energy kind of lights up on his image as it kind of glows brighter. Reveal yourself. Don't worry, my friend. You are just alone and you need some help. It's a perfectly natural feeling to feel. Feeling? Yes. You miss your friends, don't you? The Frostbreakers? The ones who freed you from your eternal prison? Set you free of sorts? Frostbreakers. They tried to contain me. They tried to give me back to the Asgardians. I escaped. They were doing what they felt was right at the time, friend. They were only having your best interests at heart. All of them wanted to save you and to teach you a better way of living. It was one of them that had certain bonds they couldn't break. Was having a hard time making the right decision. But rest assured, the Frostbreakers are still your friends, and they look for you now. Hunting you down. Seeking you out. Frostbreakers want to be my friends? Yes. Like a real adventurer, per se. A real adventurer. Finally. Is this what it is like to get a quest? Yes. Of sorts. And you'd be getting it from the very person who gave them their first quest all those time ago. You'd be right in their ranks alongside them. An official Frostbreaker. Isn't that what you've always wanted, Sam? To not be a tool, but to be involved, to be on the inside, not on the outside looking in. Sam's arms kind of come down. You can do this for me? Why, yes. Who else to give you your first adventure? And then you see this figure kind of come out of the brush. These big, long, bird-like talons. Shining paladin armor coming through, wings furling out and coming back against the shoulder blades. This eagle-like head with a long beak. Who better to give you your first adventure than the father of the Frostbreakers? If it wasn't for me, they'd never have been together. I gathered them. I put them together. And that road led to this. I went by a different name back then. I had to build a reputation of sorts on different planes. You can call me Gloomwing, though. Well, Gloomwing, what is my first quest as a real adventurer? Well, looks around as the two sort of holographic forms come closer together. What you need, my friend, is knowledge. That is your prime directive, isn't it? Knowledge. To try to know all there is to know. I know of a place that I could take you with infinite bouts of knowledge and history and lore that would make your metal little brain, kind of hits the top of his head, burst. And maybe you can even find a way to bring the Frostbreakers to you. Where would I find this place? And you see the talons of Gloomwing grasp on to the clasp of Vagreen, one of the Titan relics that he had taken. Let me show you. Grasps it, and this blinding flashlight blinks out white as a holographic image shorts out.
Damn it, I thought I ripped all the wires out.
This was horrifying.
So was Gloomwing all along.
Of course it was. Of course. He's safe after all. He sent us all on our first mission. He got us all together. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
As the monarch
Everything since the start.
Gestures towards you, Fiend. That clasp. That betrayer carries is a powerful Titan relic. And if he is in these woods, rest assured he is going to find more. I would be much more adverse to them being in your possession than a crazy sycophant fanboy like Gloomwing.
Understood. Say no more. Tasks at hand, after all.
You have your path, King of Fear. And might I add, well done on the not going too crazy thing.
Time heals all wounds. It's a saying for a reason, isn't it?
As the monarch kind of looks over their domain of infinity. In time. Yes.
Thank you.
Wherever you would like to go next, I will guide the way. So,
We will be leaving shortly. Mr. Fiend turns around to the rest of his friends and gathers them over by the monarch. Just
Yes.
Fiend.
as we all just recently saw, Gloomwing has been a royal pain in our asses.
Mm-hmm.
He does hold relics of creatures more ancient than gods themselves. Not going to be easy, considering he put Sam on our asses, and Sam was a complicated fight for us. If I may speak from a place of wisdom, that I have reached into this plane for the last 10 years and say, if I can get over my own shit, then you all can get over yours too. We can come together as a family and actually make a difference. So, I don't intend to kill that tree. And if I don't intend to kill that tree, whatever your deepest desires of darkness may be, you can fight against them. I will help you. And so will Moonbeam Morning Fur. But Moonbeam Morning Fur is in the forest at the moment, and I can't seem to get this shit out of my head. So,
It's a good name. You come up with that one yourself?
no.
Feral.
A god sent me a list of names, and I've been reading off them this entire time. So, if you...
That sounds a little far-fetched, but okay. You know what? Continue.
Yes. So, every morning, in the words of Dew Morning Twill, Dew Morning Meadow Twill, Dew Meadow Twill, put your hands in the middle,
Okay.
right? On top of mine.
Oh.
One hand, not two hands,
Oh.
Tarek.
Okay.
I was only reaching out with one.
I know, but you're thinking of two. I know you're an overachiever.
I'm literally holding the hammer in the other.
Right.
Hands on top, in the center here. Now, if we are to be one, I'll put my hand on top of all of yours, right? Because I'm on the bottom and now the top. And on 3, see, I'm doing this number. So on 3, we're going to raise all of our hands. So right,
Okay.
and then we're going to say, Frostbreakers. This is a thing that's going to bring us together. Right. So strange, you're seeming
Some sort of
confused.
team
No.
building
As
exercise.
you're doing this, Sir Strange looks at the monarch and is just like,
Help.
Like, blink twice for help. So on 3, 1, it's going to be Frostbreakers. 1, 2, 3.
Frostbreakers.
Right. And this brings us together as a team, according to my friend Doom Metatwill.
Interesting.
Maybe it's a
I-
fate thing.
Yes,
Maybe.
I've distracted
Awoke
you all
thing,
long enough
perhaps.
to say,
I,
get over your shit.
yes, Fiend, I agree with that sentiment. I understand.
Right.
Honestly, sure.
I
okay.
think,
Imagine chewing a piece of gum, right? And by
Piece
the
of
time
what?
it loses its flavor, you've gone through every emotion you possibly could have in 10 years of your life. Just-
Okay.
Yes. I think.
And then it got its flavor back.
Okay, Fiend, I think. Yeah.
All right. So now what?
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
I agree with the sentiment, though, Fiend. I get what you're trying to say.
Right. Okay. Where are we going? Anyway.
The monarch is going to lead us out.
Is
Great. Cool.
Fiend- Are you gonna have a pixie dust? Oh, are you gonna have a pixie dust addiction?
I have no idea what you're talking about. That was Dream Fiend. And I'm Real Fiend. And I don't have any intention of ever putting anything up my nose that isn't a tissue. So,
Okay. Now what?
After
We're
all
going-
of the heroic sayings I've heard over the millennia, it's not the worst.
Okay.
And
So
that's for something.
I think
Tarek.
I need to go to bed.
Sorry. Terry kind of just with all of that going on is just like, right, Fiend, I think I understand the sentiment. We do need to be more of a unit, more of a team. Keep everything together.
Yeah.
Yes. We're only going to survive this if we're all working together.
Yes.
Working off each other's strengths and weaknesses. So, where do we think should you all go next? Is it, or in what order? I mean, we have plenty of places we want to go to.
I think we've spent too long in the Fae without visiting
Visiting what?
Sir Strange's father, of course.
Ah,
Fiend, you can't just pull that on someone.
Yes, daddy issues. Remember, get over it.
She's like
Wanna go?
cutting. She's doing the cutting motion.
As you remember on the globe way back when you're at the Academy of Arcana, going looking after that Gloom ring apparition that you were just like a few steps behind, there was that marking on a map of the Feywild that's situated next to Mithrandain, the Autumn City, in this temple in a little town called Lupo.
Okay, so why do we need to go to Mithrandain? I'm not going to stop us. I'm just curious. Why is my father so interesting now?
The Oak Lord might be able to help us. I mean, so far we've successfully traversed this place somehow, but we've been stumbling blind mostly. If we can actually make our way to Mithrandain, the Oak Lord might be able to help us, give us some sort of guide or perhaps something, and then we can traverse. Yeah, might even have information that he can give us that will help us find Gloom.
I'm not going to stop you, but I'm going to question the logic on this one. Why would he want to help the son he gave away?
That's where I come in.
Yep.
What are you going to do? You're going to tell him that, here is the Fey Prince again, like last time?
Oh, that was poor choices. I didn't understand this place, but I've lived here for quite a while now.
Also, really quick, Quincy, thank you for the raid of like 140 people. Hello, Raiders.
Oh,
Hey, what's going on, Raiders?
Hey, some of our favorite carnival people.
Okay.
I didn't understand everything about this place or anything about this place when we first arrived, and I assumed status would mean something. It was my mistake. I apologize for that. But now I've lived here for quite some time, and I can tell your father has a deep root in the Feywild, and it's not a Prince of Frost root, and we could use all the help we could get.
Look, I'm going to say it again. I trust you, Fiend. So if you feel this is the route we need to go, we'll do it. But I'm going to preemptively say, I told you so. But we'll go. We'll see what the great Oak Lord has to say. We'll see.
I'm excited.
I'm probably... okay.
Regardless of what bullshit they have to say, you are a wonderful individual and it won't matter. And the best we can do, I don't know, is maybe embarrass them a little bit. Have a good time.
You know, you're right. I mean, I already met your parents. I guess we make it official and I show you mine.
Okay, well, we didn't have to phrase it like that. She blushes a lot and she shoves some of her face in her hair. I didn't know they were my parents at the time.
Yeah. And Sir Strange is gonna head off and get ready. You know, I would have wanted you to meet my mother first. And then they walk away and get ready to prepare themselves emotionally for the turmoil ahead.
Fiend leans over to Ramira. I would have wanted to meet his mother first, too. I hear she has wonderful things for shadows.
Kill you, Fiend.
Out of character? John, don't fuck him up!
Oh, it's coming!
No, why are you...
I hate it here.
That is a woman of shadows.
Ramira grabs
here.
let us cry. And I'm trying to hold some semblance of normal together.
I feel like Kevin zoned out completely.
Yeah, Kevin left the building.
I think everything froze for a minute there.
As a woman of
Fiend recognized Sir Strange's mom as a woman of shadows.
Woman.
I grab him by the collar and I pull him down to my height. I care about you. But I'll fight you. I'll fight you.
I know. I've worked through this.
But
What's the worst thing you
haven't.
can do? Leave? Too soon? I know. It is too soon. We should move.
She
All
frowns
going away.
hard. Like it was a haha funny joke, but she just looks at you and she goes, right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does Fiend still have like the Chungus beard?
Yep.
All right. Good to know.
Did Kevin freeze?
Uh-oh. Yep, Kevin froze.
No.
Okay, guys, hey,
Kevin.
I actually put Kevin freezing on the bingo card.
Yeah,
so you guys can go
Oh,
ahead and mark
no.
that off on your bingo cards.
Everybody, who has bingo? We're at 3
yeah,
hours in.
bingo actually.
Wait,
bingo,
right?
anyone?
Anybody have it?
I'm actually curious. Did anybody get bingo yet? Is
The
anybody-
Rosewood Inn. Don't fuck my mom, Fiend.
Is-
You guys,
Don't cheat on my wife.
I
I'm
will
curious. Let's
say,
see,
'cause
what is on the line of the bingo card where Kevin froze? Kevin froze, sketchy plan made, PC downed, Muppet arms, or Pharaoh mentioned the bards. Or if you go down, it's Kevin got the episode number right, cursed magic item, party member lies to another, Kevin froze, or backstory mentioned. So like,
you're
Fair
getting
enough.
there.
I would say there's plenty there.
I have not seen this bingo card. I didn't know
It's
this
new.
existed.
It's new.
It just,
What
yeah,
is
she
it?
just put it in.
I have done like 3 other bingo cards and this one.
Join our Discord for
can
all
you-
of our shenanigans.
Where have you posted this? Is it in the BTR chat?
Yes. No, it's in the Discord. The
Yeah.
Where the BTR.
Oh, I
like,
see
coming
this.
up.
I see that.
Yeah. Missing the cursed items. So, but we did mention the cursed item.
It's
Then
too
I will
bad
stab
I don't
Tarek
have-
with the cursed item.
Something to plug in the meanwhile.
You know, we actually do if we want to talk about the Rolling for Charity stream.
Oh my God, yeah, do it, Ivy.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So November 13th, actually. So coming up very shortly and very soon, a Rolling for Charity, which is the charity committee that I am a board member on and run the tech for, is actually going to be doing their annual 24-hour charity stream where we support Doctors Without Borders. You can see some of my lovely castmates who are participating, as well as a bunch of other amazing content creators and our tech and producer guy, Jordy Rose, as participating. So November 13th, 24-hour charity stream over on the Shows and Medics.
Woo!
I'll be up for like 36 hours.
Be there or be a
Dice
cunt.
cream. Hi, Kevin.
Be there or freeze like Kevin.
You're muted. That was the best part of all of that is that you were
Yeah.
muted. Nope, still muted.
I just went through all that and Anna just went, fuck you.
Yep.
Apologies on that, everybody.
I like how I was the
Okay.
DM while I was doing that little promo. I was the DM. That makes me happy.
I'm Mr. Feed now.
Oh, I am Sir Strange.
Yeah, I'm Ramiro, apparently.
Where?
Okay, so with
I'm a
all
lot
that
of
being
things.
said, as the monarch kind of leads you down the oak wooden steps from that sort of that first level outside the cave entrance, you start to go down the stone steps down to that bottom layer with that waterfall kind of careening down into the grassland. Where is it you'd like to go next?
Do we have any idea how we can get to Mithrandain?
Well, the monarch seems to believe they have a subway of sorts.
I will guide the way to wherever you need to go next.
Wonderful.
All right. Mithrandain.
You've already
I
had
think-
one kind of experience. I'll save you the trouble of another.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Are there any pixies around that I can notice?
As you start to kind of step up to the waterfall, as she kind of gestures to walk through it, you kind of look around and again, this beautiful Feywild environment with all of these cotton candy colors, have various sort of firefly tea lights floating around. And as you all kind of step up in Fiend, you take one look around, you see an array of pixies, about 5 in a row, kind of floating down. Just with a sad look on their face as they wave goodbye.
As I also have a sad look on my face, waving goodbye, and my friends are walking past me, and I'm just kind of like, I'm gonna fucking miss you guys.
Fiend, are you crying right now?
Fiend go. It's raining.
I know it. It's not. Does it even rain here?
It's a good day for rain.
Shh.
Yes.
And as Tarek turns to look away for the pixie salute, he goes and sticks it right in Tarek's ear.
Eric
Don't
and
ever
falls
do that
over.
again.
Farrell's crying. That is hilarious to her.
Don't ever do that again.
Again, not even paying attention. Tarek gives a tip to the pixies.
They all just kind of floating there, just like take their elegant bows down. They're laughing their ass off and pointing down.
I'm gonna miss you, glorious motherfuckers.
Okay.
All right, where do you need to
You
go?
take that last look. We'll all take one last look around the domain of delight of infinity. As the monarch looks over to all of you. Good luck. And you all start to step in one at a time through the waterfall. As the water starts to careen down your head and your materials, the monarch puts their hand on Sir Strange's shoulder. You're going to make us all very proud.
Thank you. Thank you for being there when my father couldn't.
I'm always with you in one spirit or another. Now go get the Knight of the Rosewood.
And they go in.
And as you enter through the waterfall, the water starts to fall down your face and on your armor, your clothing, your hair, sopping wet as the feet kind of move forward through about a foot or so of water. The sloshing of the water going against your boots suddenly change from a liquid, wet, slopping sound to a dry, crackling noise, almost like the water itself is starting to mutate and change from a dark riverbed into a sea, an ocean of infinite dried leaves in colorations of brown and orange and yellow, as dead leaves on the ground just go up almost underneath, sort of midway to your shin, as you find yourself almost like trudging through snow, but it is just an infinite amount of autumn leaves. And as you peer forward still, the darkness kind of comes through with light. As you look down, it is dusk. The sun has already set and it is dark out. But you see around you, as that light is just sort of careening over an arrangement of mountains, the orange light of the sun is just starting to dim and go down, catching one last glimpse at this beautiful bronze autumn scenery in front of you of rolling hills, large amounts of trees, all coloring like at peak fall time. And as you start to wade through, you notice that the rain starts to smatters down on you as you hear the peddling of raindrops smattering against dry, cracked leaves all around you. Warm winds kind of picking up and moving certain leaves in front of you as you see this trail kind of careen forward from you, downward, into not a village of sorts, but a place that looked familiar from the map markings. There's no village to be seen, but only the stony foothills of what you kind of read on the map as the Kelder Mountains rising up from the lengthening shadows, and miles of pine forest and thorny bramble stretching all around that have taken this bronze and yellow coloration. You look down from there, the sort of barren farmland of sorts. You can see kind of 3 or 4 sort of log houses and various homes, but they're spread out really far and wide. And over a few more hilltops, sort of way off in the distance from this landscape, you can slightly see these glowing spheres several miles kind of east or west of where you are, sort of northwest. And they're kind of hard to see, but they look like these massive sort of metallic spheres with these various glyphs and colorations on them, outlining some sort of district of sorts. But as the rain is careening down onto you, you start to feel a bit cold, and the water starting to kind of rise up from your feet, kind of making like sloshing noises against the crusting of leaves that go up against your boot. And as you look down from where you are, there seems to be only one sign of anything that resembles civilization here. Seems to be a single point of light flickering in the window of a cottage, half hidden behind the trees. What would you like to do, Frostbreakers?
At the sight of like what kind of looks farm-like, Rhaenyra kind of just holding her own hands on her chest sighs a little bit. Makes me miss home. My family owns a farm. And she kind of says haphazardly to like Strange and whoever's around. Makes me miss them.
Well, Brielle will probably be behind you. Well, maybe we can plan a trip sometime, right?
Oh, I would love that. You would all love, well, I'm not going to put any expectations on it, but I would love that.
I'm sure they're wonderful.
They are. Strange.
Kevin, I have a question. Can I make a check of some sort if I recognize this area, or if there's anything like that from Sir Strange's traumatic childhood? You're muted.
I said the childhood was good. It was just the leaving part that sucked. Yeah, roll me a history check.
Dick.
Dicks!
19.
19. Okay, so this place, as you kind of look upon it, it used to be sort of a thriving farmland that was connected to the city of Mithrin Dane. A way of agriculturally gaining, supplies and food, and for the city and things like that, vegetables, that kind of thing. You sort of remember there being a bit more housing, but it seems like time has not been kind to this plot of land. It looks a lot more dark and dreary than it used to be. Over the hillsides, as you kind of see off in the distance, those tiny little spheres marking the edge of the autumn city. You can faintly remember holding the Oak Lord's hand as you would pass by these magical spheres that you sort of remember seeing, like Eladrin and Fae, some that would try to like sneak up on the Oak Lord as the Oak Lord would like walk by one of the spheres and just hear a look down and see like the Fae like on their butt, like I almost got you there. And you kind of remember looking down from there and looking up to a city that is ever expanding upward.
Mm-hmm.
Vertically, not horizontally. And the gleaming tapestry of bronze and silver and browns, copper, illuminating all around you. But this place, again, used to be a lot more lively from when you were as a kid and you kind of looked over at the rolling hillsides with the various colorations of fall leaves, seeing the sort of farmland, and you remember seeing like villagers running around, kids playing. But whatever that image was, this is not what this is.
Okay. So with that, Sir Strange takes a look around. Whatever smile they had, now gone. And the cottage is there, and there's a light in there, right?
Yeah, so you see kind of very sprawled out in this area, there's a cottage with a single light in the window, like a candle that's lit, signaling that someone's home and up. And there's like 1, 2, 3 that are kind of far, sort of farm each other, sort of off to the west side.
This place, I used to run around here all the time. But it's changed. It's different now. I am unsure what happened. Well, I could get a general idea, but... Well, there's a cottage up ahead. And Strange is just very... Like, in their voice, it's cold and sort of numb. I say, before we make any decision, we figure out what happened. As much as I like to consider this place home, just kidding. I don't want to make any assumptions. So I say we take a look at that cottage. There might be someone there.
There's the light on.
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Do you
And
want one of us to go first? You're not alone.
I know. I just can't help but feel very alone right now, even though you're here.
I understand that.
Well, can you just go with me? I'm just scared that if I turn around, I won't see you anymore.
Is Ramira holding their hands?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, at that point of them being like, I just don't want to be alone, and just a gentle pinky touching their pinky kind of thing, waiting for them to respond back to see if that's like a good time or not.
Yeah.
Strange holds on to her hand.
We're all here for you.
I think Farrell will reach out.
Cute.
Put a finger, like holding your finger, like just same hand as Ramirez, just hooking it just a little bit.
Mutual hand holding.
Yeah.
It's her pinky, or it's her
Mutual phalange holding.
Yeah. Well,
You're not alone.
Oh, I know.
We've all got your back.
Yeah. I just wish some people in my life did before this happened.
Well, we're here now.
I think we all understand that feeling in great measures.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here
And Sir Strange, you do remember back with talking with the Tree of Infinity, you had asked a particular question.
Yeah.
Does the Oak Lord miss you?
Yeah.
And it said yes.
Yeah. Strange sort of just keeps that to themselves. Doesn't want to believe it, because why would someone give away their son and still miss them as if they were something? Yes, Seth?
It's at this point she goes, oh, wait a second, and then takes her hand, hang on one second, and puts like Farrell's hand as a placeholder for her hand into Strange. Hang on a second. And she pulls out the string that her and Strange have been passing back and forth, and she, like, in a very shitty magic trick way, pulls it out of her sleeve as a joke, even though you just saw her take it from her bag. She puts it in her sleeve and goes, huh? And then ties it around her finger.
If my pinky was not in Sir Strange's pinky, I would applaud.
Wow.
Just so you and I are on the same page. She's like jokingly put it on her middle finger, like, just so you and I are on the same page.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's gonna hurt anyway. Strange walks over to the cottage. I'm gonna carefully look around, because even though this is my home turf, I don't know, Faye might pull up and try and shoot me. I don't know.
Make a perception check as you kind of make your way down from that entrance in the tree line of the forest, down the rolling hills towards the farmland there. It's very cold. The rain is kind of beating down hard. You find it difficult to kind of move and slosh through all of the millions of dead fall leaves on the ground, making it kind of difficult terrain to kind of move through. But as you get closer down to the illuminated cabin, you kind of try to quickly look around.
Perception check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Farrell's kicking leaves.
I also want to look around. I ain't no fool.
We're able to do so.
Farrell's kicking
I ain't no fool.
I ain't
damn.
no fool.
Farrell
Okay.
likes the crunch for the leaves.
Yeah, that's going to be a
Crunch.
dirty 20.
24.
Oh shit, you two.
It's the adrenaline.
I would like to know if
Um,
Farrell has removed her pinky and let Ramira put her hand back.
Just a little crab claw. Holding another crab claw.
And is like arms out is kicking around leaves now.
Cute.
Um,
I need art of that. Somebody draw that.
Strange has their helmet on. I'm going to clarify for this specific.
They can't find me if they can't see me.
Okay. So looking around before you make one final, make your final few feet forward towards the cabin, kind of Strange Ramira kind of dart around a bit. The sun is starting to kind of go behind the Kelder Mountains at this point, starting to become nighttime. Just before those last few pigments of light kind of leave the sky above, those twin suns suddenly make their way behind the silhouette of the mountains. You're kind of leaving the tree line now and kind of going more towards the picketed fences that kind of surround the various plots of land that are plowed and upturned for food and resources. But you look at the plot, there's no food in them. There's nothing growing out of them. There's just kind of dead, decay plant life and mud that's kind of sloshed all around. And you see a cat goes onto the one of the beams of the wood fence with 4 little tentacles that start to appear off the back of it as a kitten displacer beast kind of on its side profile starts to creep up along the side of the post, and you kept noticing it there creeping up, and then as it turns in your direction, you notice that it does not have 1 head but 2.
Oh shit.
Kill it with
Farrell
fire.
is
It's a
over-
freak.
No, don't do that.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it, Farrell, but you know what I'm gonna say.
This is
Just not
nasty.
gonna say it.
Can I roll animal handling?
Are you sitting my
Please.
dick right now, Farrell?
So, Farrell, how did you lose your hand?
I
Wow.
want to scritch. I want to scritch.
So how did you get rabies, Farrell?
I roll for scritch.
Roll for Scritch. Roll an animal handling check as you sort of make your way closer to the fence. The cat's like kind of looking at you all and sussing you out.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, all right. That's not too bad. That's a 17. 17.
17.
I just want to scritch it.
So you go over to this adorable little kitten displacer
Yeah,
beast.
kinda kneel down just a little bit. Just
As the fur on its body is fairly like matted and wet at this point. But you kind of goes over to you. It's just still up on top of that wooden beam as you're kind of kneeling down to it, and it kind of
scritch. Scritch.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
That's nasty.
No, they're adorable.
Can we
Where-
keep going before we go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
I'm already here.
What are Cocoa Puffs? Why do you keep
Let's
saying
keep it moving.
Okay, going to the cottage. Going.
that? Let's go.
okay.
Oh, we don't run into his mother.
But
As the rain is pouring down, you start to hear the sound of it slamming against the pane of the window. As the cat's kind of purring and then kind of takes off as you kind of leave its vicinity. And so you get to the cottage and you knock on the door. Just a very simple one-level cottage with a roof, a little bit of smoke coming out from a chimney.
Do you want one of us to knock?
Yeah.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Knock, knock, knock. Donk, donk.
Wow, Ramiro, this the out of character. Hey, this isn't the first time you knocked on the door.
Don't make me change the way I feel about you. She knocks on the door appropriately. Dunk, dunk, dunk.
Farrell will join behind you after she's...
I can't words tonight. I don't know what's my problem.
I can word.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
Farrell comes
So as you knock on the door, as Farrell comes and joins you, just
I put the
skirting
cat.
with the displacer beast, you hear a woo, 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 woo. Okay, just calm down, Grisham. Just fine. Stop. Just hold on there. Just how is it? What do you want?
We're looking to get out of the storm.
Out of the storm. Just calm the fuck. God damn it. Okay, hold on. It's big boy. And you kind of hear all these like smattering of footprints and like you know this dog. You hear the paw prints kind of excitedly hitting the ground as she's trying to restrain him, and then the door suddenly opens up, and you see in front of you an autumn Eladrin.
Oh. Hello.
But one that has lived quite a full
She's
life.
got a lot of crunchy leaves.
This
Crunchy leaf.
exactly. This
Do
fall
never call me
Eladrin.
old. I want to be crunchy leaf.
This autumn Eladrin looks like an old, crunchy lady who has lived off the land probably her entire life. You see her; she's a bit shorter, kind of shorter in size and wide. Does have kind of like a orange gown, kind of stitched together with different sort of fall autumn leaves, and has a orange and yellow kind of coloration, almost like a muumuu gown. But if the muumuu gown was just like stitched with various fall leaves, like one after the other, and down.
Yes,
past her-
retired Keyleth.
Like Farrell's in love, so like.
No sleeves, just like kind of a tank top, and the gown kind of goes down past the ankles, kind of thing. But as you get kind of a good look at her, she is ancient, round and wrinkled, with tumor-riddled skin. You kind of notice that she seems to have more fingers than teeth. Like she's got like a sixth finger kind of coming out of a pinky, like over here, and a thumb that's kind of sort of
I was gonna
split at the top right there on the other hand.
I was gonna say, does that say more about her hands or more about her teeth?
And she's got this blackened wooden pipe kind of hanging off the side of her mouth as the tobacco like irradiates with a dark red orange hue with smoke coming out of it. The smoke is pretty pungent. You can smell the tobacco kind of wafting out of the house as she has this leash over a fairly large gray mastiff with big jowls that kind of come down past the cheeks, with ears that are kind of bent down here, restraining the mastiff by the leash. Yes, what is it?
Go for it.
Do it.
I used to live here a long time ago, and I got lost, as you know how the Feywild can be, and things have changed. It isn't as lively as it used to be. What happened?
I'm sorry, does your friend always talk to people with a helmet on? Seems kind of ludicrous.
It's been a while, so
It's it's easier to wear it than carry it around.
Strange. It's like, no, it's been like years. They won't. Strange removes their helmet. Yeah, sorry about that. I know, my face is weird. It's okay. I get it a lot.
You say you lived around these parts?
Yeah. It used to be my home, but things change. And
don't seem too familiar to me, young. What is your name?
Sir Strange.
Sir Strange. Well, you're letting in a lot of rain into my home, Sir Strange, and others. Just get the fuck inside. You're gonna just get in here. Fucking move in. Get in. You're getting everything wet. Go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
And as you look into the home, house is small, little more than a single room with 2 chairs, a threadbare rug made of rags, and a fireplace with an iron pot hung beside it. She lets you in, kind of brings you by the fire to kind of warm you and get a better look at you. By the light of a single lantern that she has kind of for all intents and purposes, like a velvet lazy boy chair with a little bedside table, the lantern sitting on top of it. She looks at all of you. So, you were saying you were wondering what happened to the land?
Yes, it used to be quite lively last I was here. People running around.
There seems to be some adverse effects from the nearby temple.
Nearby temple?
And if you all recall from when Gloomwing wrote those notes on the Feywild Atlas, the note that he said was Mithrandane, Laupo, find the Magister's temple here.
Strange is gonna ask again, just more for clarification. Temple?
Yes, well, there's no real village here anymore. It hasn't really been for many years. When the old temple was abandoned, things got a lot worse for the local folk. When most of them died off or left after the Great Divine War incident, the forest ate up what they left behind. You can see the remains of some of the old houses still, but no one but a fool goes in one, really. But only unnatural things live in such places now.
How could the Oak Lord let that happen?
Seems he has other priorities lately. We don't get much royalty visits like we did back in the old days.
Seems like a weak lord to me.
You said it, not me, young chap. The old temple is still up on the hill. And folks stay away from it, though. Some say it's haunted, and some say it's cursed. Everyone every day saying, this is cursed, that is cursed. It gets on my mind too much lately, to be honest. But
That's
everyone agrees nothing good comes from visiting there. Horrible creatures are said to lurk in the woods nearby. If the first angel ever watched over Laupo, he turned his eyes away long ago.
You said that you don't get many royal visits anymore. When was the last time that happened?
It was probably when I sent off my 2 daughters off to Faerun. Quite some time ago. Lovely set of Eladrin children.
Oh.
Yes. Did you know them? You lived around here?
What were their names?
One is called, her name is Oryxana, and the other one is Mariel.
History check?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know?
Kevin.
Can I make a history check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 21.
You do remember the name Oryxana, as she was the herald of the Frost Maiden back in 10 Towns all that time ago. The herald that came forth to the Frostbreakers and tried to break bread and tried to decipher a meeting of the two that kind of went a bit sour in a certain casino with ice worm and a bunch of bards.
So
All that
Strange wouldn't know this, but just for context for the
Ramiro,
Oh, yeah.
if Ramiro knew this because she got their name and everything, would have just turned away from this woman and been like,
Oh, Farrell immediately knew.
Yeah, her pet fucking ate me.
so Strange doesn't know these two from their time here. Probably not.
Unless any of you would have mentioned that in passing with Strange. Because it would have been common knowledge.
We probably would have
Strange.
just referred to her as the Herald.
Strange not knowing. No, but I'm sure they were lovely people. So this temple cursed, I hear that all the time. I'm actually quite familiar with curses. That was a joke. Why did you stay?
This is my home. I'm not going to give it up so easily just because of a few spooky things heading about. I've got my old pal Grisham here to take care of things, and it's in good proximity to the city. When it's not raining and abhorrent of weather, some things grow sometimes.
I know you might not know this, but just out of curiosity, do you remember what happened to the Oak Lord and his family? By chance, I remember a while back that something happened, and I forgot for some time. I'm curious if you knew anything about it living in this domain.
I know that the Queen forcibly had to go back to the Shadow Fae. I'm not sure what the reason was. It wasn't very well known. It was just that she had to return back to her royal duties there, and she never came back. And after the Divine War and the battle with the Titans, there was some rumors scoffing about the Asgardians and the fall of the Monarch and Child of Odin causing Titans to roam free, and it caused the schism. What else? There was an exchange that the Prince of the Fae was going to uphold our traditions in the modern world and in Asgard, to be a shining beacon of Fae ways and languages and cultures for years to come.
Strange, just not really paying attention to their words, just sort of like distant. So that was a cover story, huh? Strange.
What was that? Sir Dane? I didn't hear you there for a minute.
Don't worry about it. I say a lot of weird things sometimes.
I know that. I say weird things all the time, too. It's just every day you just say things and then they come out and you're not sure why.
Ma'am, what was your name?
What?
Your name?
Oh, my name is Xavier, dear.
Xavier.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us in and telling us all these things.
There's not much. You get visitors around here. And if you were going to murder me, well, c'est la vie.
C'est la mort. And I produce a gold coin for her and give her a gold coin. Not sure how helpful this will be, but it's customary to pay those who help you.
Thank you kindly. Are you all residents of the...
I smack his hand away. Stop that.
Nice to meet you, Horned One.
Oh.
Which one?
Wonderful to meet you.
Oh, gods. Say, strange remembering why they were here. Is it is the Oak Lord taking any sort of visitors? Do you know? Is there a way, say, a group of adventurers wanted to pay a visit, would be easy to secure an appointment or something? Can we just walk up there? Hypothetically.
I mean, the Oak Lord is kind of a recluse these days. Doesn't come out in the public very much unless absolutely needs to. I know that he speaks with the council. That still happens. The ties for the Unseelie Court still hold strong. There was some bit of a issue. What's his fucking name? The dandy fandy fucking Prince of Cold or whatever he's fucking called.
Prince of Frost.
Yes, that's his name.
Yeah.
Tarek and Farrell say it in unison, just Prince of Frost.
Yes, there was some horrible discussions, meetings of sorts of him kind of going AWOL and declaring war on the human plane or something, and didn't have the approval of the Autumn Court or the Unseelie Council, and it's all fucking got very awkward and weird.
So he's still reigning.
Yes, well, Prince of Frost, for all his intentions, very hard fucker to kill, I guess.
So no consequences.
So he's
No consequences.
Well, the consequences is he's fucked up. It's very hard for him to come back to his true form. He's been resting and recouping in his ice palace, whatever you call that monstrosity.
Oh, that's so truly awful for him.
How,
Yes.
Good.
I wish him a swift recovery.
How
So-
tragic.
Thank you again for all the information. So we could literally just walk over there and see if the Oak Lord is free. There's nothing really stopping us then.
I mean, you could. I don't know if they let you in or not. I mean, the Mithrindane, the Autumn City is, kind of a hoity-toity ladrin, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's for people with money and fine clothes and rubbish talk about things that don't fucking matter. I'd rather stay here with old Grisham and looking to see if my carrots have rotted or grown. That's what I call a good time,
Do you want me to check on those for you? I'm pretty good at gardening.
You think so? This land has been poisoned for a little bit recently. I
Has it?
can certainly try.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know what goes on around the temple, from all the crazy dealings that have happened over years past, but for some reason, something's kicked up back again, and there's been waves of creepy crawlies coming out of all sorts of places.
Garden in the front or back of the house?
Just in the back there, dear.
Okay, if that's okay, I'll go out the front and I'll go look for you.
Sure.
Okay, and Farrell's just gonna gallop right off.
Okay.
Off she goes.
She's a very sprightly one.
I've a question for you, and I know I've been asking a lot. I'm kind of like that.
Most conversation I've had in quite some time.
If it was possible, you know how this place, you've been here for a while. If things could go back to the way they were before, this place full of life and people, and lush farmland and trees, would that be something you wish to see again?
I mean, to have one's community back, what could be more boastful? I mean, my house is not what it once was, neither is this land. If it were brought back to its former glory, maybe the Oak Lord would give us a chance,
It's okay. I'd like to help. You see, I made a promise long ago, not anyone in particular, that I would protect everyone, even the ones he couldn't. Sorry, I'm being nostalgic, but the Oak Lord may not see you, but I do. I know that doesn't mean much, but as someone who used to call this place home once, there's a bit of me that still wants to think it's so. Anyways, we should probably check out that temple later. Maybe see what's going on. I mean, this does align with the hypothetical goal of seeing the Oak Lord.
Spooky things and curses.
It's nothing that we haven't handled before.
Yeah,
It
sounds right
is
up our
kind
alley.
of our thing. Yes, we should do it.
Yeah,
Together.
together.
As a family.
And she just rolls her eyes, but like ends up smiling at you as a family.
Right. I mean, if you're able to cure this land, that would be most grateful. I mean, you're not the first people to be asking about the temple lately.
We're not
Wait.
the
Who's
first.
been asking about it?
Yeah. As it so happens, there was a, what do you call it? Aarakocra.
Oh.
Just like that, was through here a few days ago, asking after the temple too. I told him what I tell anyone, if you're fool enough to seek after it. Ask Gulshan the way. I reckon if anyone could point out the way up the hill to that place, it's him.
And where did he go after talking to you?
I reckon probably went up to Golsham's place. He's one of the... I live about as near as any soul dares to the old temple, save for Golshan. Staked out his pig farm closer to that site than anyone has in generations. He keeps to himself mostly, except when he has meat to sell, though sometimes he allows his
Right.
farm hands a holiday, over in Chandler's Folly. Everyone thinks Golshan's mad, but his bacon's good, so good folk trade with him and mind their own business.
Do you
as
hear
he
from him
minds
very often?
Not lately.
I'm sure it's nothing.
That's fine. We'll head over there then to Gulshan, and we'll do our best. Kevin, can I make a history check to see if I recognize Gulshan or even Zalvia to any certain degree, or has it just been that long?
Yeah, make a history check.
I'm just gonna throw my dice at this point. That's gonna be I rolled a 12 plus my 9. That's gonna be 21.
21.
Woo!
Jesus Christ. Well, as we've already stated, spending a long time in the Feywild does seem to have adverse effects to all of you, and especially to you, Sir Strange. It has a particular effect on your memory and able to kind of spring back these old memories of your youth. From what you recall about Yeoman Gulshan, he was thought of with mixed kind of admiration and suspicion by other locals. Kind of thought him mad to build so close to that old temple, but were also kind of secretly a little impressed by the audacity. To his hired hands, he was kind of a firm but fair master who worked them hard, but not harshly, and shared the bounty of the table, kind of thing. A tough man, but he had to be to carve out, his little oasis of well-tended pastoral order in the wilderness here. And as far as Xavier, don't really remember her too much. But from what you recall, she was this beautiful, radiant Eladrin at one point. with her 2 little daughters kind of running around the farm. At certain points, you kind of faintly remember kind of making your sort of trotting on your various horses. Sometimes you'd be riding one of the centaur guards instead of your assigned unicorn horse that the royal family had access to, because you just thought it'd be more fun to like ride a centaur as one of the like the loyal guards of the Oak Lord. So you kind of remember like when you're trotting through those lands, kind of when you go out to like big events, coronations, or meeting with the other Fae courts, you kind of remember passing by her and her daughters like waving to you as you would go. But she obviously has aged quite a lot and the disfigurements of the extra appendages and tumor-like skin is a bit off-putting.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. We'll take care of it as soon as possible. Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you very much. I mean, I don't have much here in the ways of bedding, but I'm sure if Gulshan has a whole barn and other places, you tell him I sent you, probably get you to sleep there for the night if you need more comfort.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you again. Yeah. Stranger's just gonna...
Can I insight check her just for kicks and giggles?
Yeah, sure.
Just for the pranks.
For pranks?
21.
Yeah, no, she, you look over to her, it's a mimic, no, it's, being honest, like, 100% forthright. She's just an old woman who just doesn't give a fuck and is just living her best life, trying to do with, you know, what time and situation gave her.
Nice. Just making sure.
Of course.
Okay.
We should get going.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again. Stranger's awkward. They're gonna just mosey their way out. Just sort of.
Thank you, Zevia. We will be seeing ourselves out, and Grisham. Have a lovely time. Because I don't know what time it is right now.
It's now kind of nightfall. It's getting into that like 8 p.m. kind of time. If you had to put a time zone on it, which is hard to do in the Feywild, it's kind of like the 8 p.m. side. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the conversation, and enjoy your stay in the Feywild. I don't know.
Yes, thank you.
It's awful, but we appreciate it. Also,
damn it, fiend.
Also, wolf. Yeah. I respect that.
Okay, we're leaving
You know
now.
how to talk to me?
Hmm?
Or are you just bullshitting?
You learn a lot in 10 years.
We're going.
Right.
You're done. You're done.
You know
We're
what?
out of here. No.
Thank you, Xavier. Thank you for your hospitality. Seeing ourselves out. Thank you.
During this time, I would like to
Awkwardly
say
bow.
Farrell has been out in the garden, but not looking at gardening.
That's right. So we will sort of cut to while this conversations were going on. What has Farrell been doing?
Hey,
In
Kevin.
this makeshift slippery.
So, question: about how many miles away is the temple?
You can't really see it from here.
That's fine. I don't need to see it.
It's hard to tell because you don't know exactly how far away it is.
Okay,
You're
great.
kind of near these various farmlands, and like where that Gulshan
Right.
farmland is kind of off to the precipice of this pathway that kind of goes in through the forest.
Right. The reason I ask is because this entire time while Farrell has been outside, she's been casting Commune with Nature, which is a ritual spell. You briefly become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territories. In outdoors, the spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you. The spell does not function where nature has been reduced by construction, such as dungeons and towns, but you instantly gain knowledge of one of up to 3 facts of your choice without any of the following subjects. They relate to the area: terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or people, powerful celestial, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead, which is the one I'm choosing.
Okay.
So, within a 3-mile radius, I would like to know what powerful celestial, fiends, elementals, or undead are currently around me. Because that's why I asked, how far is the temple?
Okay, so you ask, does it tell you exactly what's around you, or just that these types of things are within distance?
It tells me you instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice. So I'm choosing that one as one of my 3 facts: the plants and minerals around me and terrain and bodies of water. So just a general, like for example, you could determine the location of a powerful undead in the area, the location of major sources of safe drinking water, and the location of any nearby towns. So it kind of just tells me where everything is.
So it kind of tells you that like undeads
If
are like
something is
forming over
there.
here.
Or something is like, because it's fae, fiends, elementals, or undead. So I wanted to see if the temple is 3 miles away, and if so, I want to know who's there.
Okay. So, as
And she's been
you-
ritually casting this for the past minute. As soon as she's like, yeah, I'm going out to the garden. I'm going to look at your plants. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So as you go down sort of outside, the rain still spattering down above you. It's now kind of completely night. The mud is turned up and is gushing around as you get your feet kind of wet and slosh around. You kind of dig around a plot around you to kind of make this sort of makeshift mound for you to kind of sit down on.
Mhm.
And
her
kind of
knees are
cross
drawn
your
up.
legs.
Oh, yep. She's like,
And you begin to cast that sign,
commune with nature.
commune with nature. The wind's kind of picking up as the rain kind of becomes less of a down and more on a vertical pace as the energy around you kind of starts to pick up. Once you've finished sort of 2/3 through the ritual, you kind of take your hands up in this sort of ritual motion, and you see your hands glow this effervescent green, and you kind of put it down to the dirt to connect yourself with the surrounding nature. And this sort of radar effect comes off from the center of your person, down in all around you. You look up, your eyes white, as you almost have this heat vision of sorts as you start looking around through the various log cabins, farmland, and the city way off the distance with a brief glow of light shining from over there, the forest land behind you, the path that leads up to Yoshan's place into the woods towards where the temple may be. You look over into the cabin behind you, and you see the coloration of pink surrounding the fey old woman, shining bright. And then you look around and you see that cat sort of along the banister of the fence there, sort of got that pink hue going on. And you look over into the tree line. You can see these sort of dark navy blue colorations of aberrations and undead sort of stalking around in the tree line. You look over to where Yoshan's hut or farmland is, kind of fair ways away from where you are, sort of off the horizon. You kind of scan it over to see if there's anything pinging off. You look in there, you see no coloration for Fae. look around you still into the faint distance of Mithrindain. You see various smatterings of pink little bodies just like moving around, seeing bodies going up vertically, almost like elevator-like motions up and down all around. But that's it. And it's there, everyone, that we gotta end the session. Hiya! Ooh!
He's dead.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm totally going out to look at the carrots.
That was a good old shovel bucket full of RP tonight. Woo! Woo!
Oh.
Thank you all so much for coming and hang out with us this Monday. Thank you for all the goddamn raids, everyone. We super appreciate it.
3 of you guys.
Starting on this next leg of the journey of the Feywild, going to seek out this temple, possibly going after Gloomwing to get the Oak Lord's attention of Mithrindain. So many things going on. But I thank you all so much for checking out our wild, wacky fantasy story every week. Thank you once again, as I've been saying for almost 2 years now, to these amazing players and your amazing role play. I super appreciate you guys coming each and every week like it was the first time we ever played, each and every time. You guys are amazing. So thank you all so much. Congrats to Booking for Adventure for winning the Norse Foundry dice. That is really awesome. Thank you to everyone who entered that contest. Tune in next week for yet the next installment of Beyond the Realms, but also session 2 of our Witchlight campaign that you all been clamoring for with Jennings Brower, Quincy's Tavern, Jackie Elena Chan, and Shane Wally. So yeah, guys, so stay tuned. Follow all the Dicecream socials for all updates and stuff we're doing here. Follow all these amazing creators for all their awesome content. And yeah, guys, we will see you next week. Stay safe. Keep washing your hands, you dirty heathens. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.